No, they were sitting down when I came, so yeah.
I didn't see any.
Yeah, nah, I just walked up. I was trying to get my chair, wasn't you?
Yeah. I thought you were already here.
Yeah, he said it was.
He just grabbed your mic. That's crazy.
I mean,
You're not gonna. Okay, move in, please.
bruv, I'm not standing in the. I'll be like the cartoon characters. You can't see the top. You can't see the face.
Yeah, it's like the producer guy.
Yeah,
like
that
those
works.
cartoon mums.
Yeah. Oh, like
Stand
in
for 2 hours.
Powerpuff
All right,
Girls.
you might as well introduce it then.
Yeah. All right. Right. Have you lot done the intro, innit? Welcome to
No,
the
Nah.
no, we
Start.
just started talking.
Also,
Alright,
no
cool.
spoilers, please. I know you've read everything, haven't you? You know what's gonna happen.
Spoilers, isn't it? Like it's just.
What do you mean no spoilers?
There's
Everyone's
like
seen it, right?
there's like multiple books, isn't there?
Yeah.
Dune is the one.
Yeah, but like that's just nothing's been made. Like
Yeah.
No,
Wait, what?
I don't know what.
So he's
happened.
basically saying just don't say anything that happens after the second
You're
movie.
basically Anthony. Like,
Right,
Yeah.
okay, so
what? That's so trash.
Yeah.
What,
What
you
if
don't
we've
feel
not all
like
seen
that?
it?
No,
Because they haven't made
can't
the
do that.
films yet, so.
Yeah.
Well, they made it.
Don't even look at me in it. Don't even look
I
at me.
haven't read the book. I'm just watching YouTube.
Don't even look at me.
Okay,
Nah,
cool.
you
Nah,
can't.
sorry.
No
Don't look at
spoilers,
me.
man.
Don't even look
Forget
at me.
that, no.
Don't do that.
Nah.
That's nasty.
Yeah, you can't say stuff
nasty.
that's
What
like,
we've
we haven't
seen? What we've
yeah.
seen?
Only from
Yeah.
what
Keep it to
we've seen in the movie.
All right, Anubis, go.
Okay, so yeah. Welcome to another episode of Lost in the Burger Sauce. I'm not sure what episode this is, but we are here to talk about Dune 2.
And one, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we'll do a quick recap of 1 and then we'll kind of like transition into 2. We'll just get everyone's thoughts, see what they thought about the film. We'll start off with, I'm going to pick Sang.
Okay.
Dune 1, just quickly, what did you think of it? What was your impressions of it?
Like going into it, I watched it blind, so I didn't realize it was going to be in multiple parts. So I thought it was very slow at the very beginning. But overall, as a movie, I'm still going to give it like an 8.5. I'd watch it again. It sets up the scene very well. I would have liked to see more about the Emperor in the first one, to see what he is about. Like, why is House Harkonnen doing his deeds for him? Why is he trying to get rid of House Atreides? Like, more of the background on him. I know we get a bit on that on part 2, but
It's 8.5.
8.5 I would say for part 1.
Okay.
That's a brief
Anthony,
score for part 1.
what about you for first one?
Same as saying I not in terms of rating, but in terms of like I just went into it blind. So I guess
quick,
the whole
quick question: did everyone go into it blind?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Well,
I didn't know there were
watched it in order
books.
to catch up with two. So
No, I mean like, did you watch the old Dune? Did you read the books?
No.
Nah.
I didn't know. I didn't know there
a
was a
Yeah.
movie. I didn't know there was a show. I didn't know there were books.
Yes,
I just
yeah.
thought Dune is this film everyone's talking about. So
Okay, cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
Go on, Anthony.
So so I think I watched it late, so I didn't watch it in cinema like most people did. But I think you watched it beforehand, and I think you already said it was like a part 2, or it was like there was a part 2 coming. So I was like, okay, fair. So I think that like what's the word? Not lowered my expectation, but managed my expectations. So I wasn't expecting anything like blockbuster. It was kind of like I was expecting like, okay, yeah, it's gonna be like a build up because there's gonna be multiple parts. So I watched that. I was thinking, yeah, no, that was good. Good intro. I mean, I probably would have liked to. I think there were loads of characters introduced, but not many of them were memorable enough for me to like remember their names like that. I know them. I only remember the characters by the actors playing them, but I don't actually know their names. And I feel like I would have liked more of an introduction to the families and to the actual world, rather than like not the planet, but like the world outside of it. So that would have been interesting. But
Sand not doing it for you.
huh?
Or Sand's not doing it for you.
No, it reminded me of Tatooine.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah.
You guys
like,
know how I
We
feel
were
about
on
Tatooine.
what was it? What's their land called? The Atreides land
Moise Eisley, I don't know.
Atreides land.
when they're in the clouds. Cloud City. What's the one called? I should know this.
Caladan.
Caladan. Yeah, you didn't like Caladan.
I mean, it was alright, but we weren't there for long. So it was kind of like,
Yeah, I don't even remember it, to be honest.
yeah, so it's kind of like, I also didn't really, I mean, I guess you could sort of like make your own, like, what's it called? Make your own guess for what those, like, you know, the force field twins they had. Like,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like, okay, so they're not powers, but it's like sort of technology, but it's not really explained. So it's like, okay, fair. It's like Sylvama thing, but it's like, it works for a while and then it
Wait,
just
quick
goes away.
question. What did everyone think of that kind of?
I mean, it was interesting, but it was like okay.
Or there's something similar in the show called Foundation, and it's called like the aura kind of thing. So it's like you need to
Nah,
have that slow touch in order
it's
to
aura
get
defender.
into
It's
it.
like Van Dyke. It's crazy.
Is that like the
Strike
the
one.
weird buzzy stuff?
I
Like
I say that's strike
well,
one.
when they
then,
fight
right?
each other and it goes like shakes and stuff. Is that what
Yeah,
you're
but
talking
Yeah.
Do you think
Like-
do you think
I
it
thought
do you
that
think
was
it
really
helped in like the fight in itself?
No, it doesn't seem like it does. No.
I
And they
wanna,
turn it off
I
as
wanted
well.
To, like finish your
Yeah.
synopsis of the first one because like I have so many thoughts just on what you guys have said so far. I'm just like,
Yeah, we'll leave you till last then. Go on, see.
Yeah, but like I liked how they showed the relationship between like Paul and everyone else because you first visually you see like Timothée Chalamet or like the character Paul, like he looks like a quite slim, scrawny guy. You wouldn't expect him to be capable of fighting or anything like that because they kind of just tell you, oh, like I guess you see it with his first interaction with Thanos.
Brolin.
Yeah, and then you're kind of like, okay, yeah, he's pretty skilled. He's good at like remembering the steps and stuff like that. But yeah, like I like the world building as we went along it. They kind of made the what the sand people called
The Fremen.
the Fremen. That's it. They kind of made them seem like a big bad, but then like as you go on and as you go into
Did you feel that?
yeah, because they were like, oh, these people like they know the lands, like they're very hard to find, sort of thing. And then like in the second one, like they're everywhere.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, because obviously the way they were describing the stories, like the people who before was like, oh, we're trying to conquer this place, but the Fremen, like you can't do it without the Fremen. Like they always stopped them from getting all the spice and stuff. So it's kind of like, okay, because you see the Fremen, you're like, oh, they don't look technologically advanced. Like how do they combat such a big army, sort of
I
thing?
was listening to that prologue and I was thinking it was more like a rebellion, I thought the Fremen were like rebelling against like the Empire, like these
Like a protest.
like these foreign like people were coming to your planet and just taking your spice. And,
But
like,
they were doing enough to like,
yeah, basically,
Yeah.
no, it's just a perspective, like because you're saying you got the sense that the Fremen were the aggressors, and I'm
oh
saying,
no, not aggressors, but like in terms of when I say big bad, I mean like obviously to the Empire, like these people.
okay, yeah, that's
yeah,
true,
yeah,
but
not like big villain or anything like that.
okay, fair
But
enough.
like these
That's-
people
that's
like
why, when you say
are
big bad, that's what I
no, I mean like
yeah.
they're thwarting their plans sort of
Fair
thing.
enough,
They're
yeah,
stopping their like spice production and all of that. So no, I feel like it was a good movie. I probably would have given it like a 7.5, 7. I wouldn't say anything higher than that, just because I feel like it was a good introduction. Good characters, those like good relationships I could see, like the father and the son, and like yeah, I liked where things were going, but it didn't really go anywhere. And I feel like there were some bits that were a bit confusing. Like I kept on seeing too many visions, so I was trying to work out like, are these visions what's gonna happen for sure, or is it gonna? Because I was thinking, okay, who's gonna fight? You know, the black guy at the end. I thought because the visions were seen
Jamis.
before. Yeah, because the visions we were seeing before, it was him talking to, I guess, what, Paul. So I thought at the end of the fight, like, it was still going to happen. Like, he was going to stop him. Like, he wasn't going to kill him.
Yeah.
And then, like, later on, they'll be friends or something like that. But then he killed him. I was like, okay, so, like, some of these visions are possibilities. Like,
Yeah.
Aaron and, like, seeing multiple things.
Yeah.
But I guess with Aaron, it was fixed. But this one, his isn't fixed. It's kind of flexible, sort of thing.
About those visions, though, watching part 2, like watching part 1 now makes it more interesting. But when you're watching part 1 for the first time, you don't really know what's going to happen. So I found it a bit like questionable. But watching it
Interesting.
part 1 again
yeah.
after watching part 2, it's like, oh crap! Now these things are actually happening.
Oh yeah, because the vision changes in part 2. Because what's it called? It was Paul who was doing the fight against loads of the.
Whoa! Let's calm down. Let's.
No, I'm just saying, but it was.
It's all right.
But then afterwards, obviously, it was the Fremen girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess there was like paths, but everything's happening all at once, sort of thing. That's why I guess in the second one he says like, oh, I can choose the best paths also. But yeah, that's
Darren.
my thoughts.
What do you think? Did you watch it on your phone?
Yeah, I did both. I watched both. No, actually, no. The first one I watched on my TV because it was on Netflix. And the second one I watched earlier today. But yeah, the first one, it's similar to what both these two said. Like, it was, I don't know if I'll say it was boring. It was very slow paced. But I felt like how they were keeping me going was like they were throwing a lot of questions like at us, like in terms of like, okay, we can obviously see Paul and we see that he has some kind of connection to the Fremen, but we need to know what that connection is. We know that the Fremen are these people that are hiding and the Harkonnens or whatever want the spice. I feel like they didn't really go too deep into the significance of the spice. We just know it's there and it's kind of important.
No, they said
How was interstellar travel?
Did they say okay?
No spice, they can't travel between worlds.
All right, okay. Did they say that in the movie?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
only
okay.
found in
Yeah.
Arrakis.
Okay.
Nowhere else.
Yeah.
Which is very suspicious.
But yeah, they kept basically giving us things to kind of think about and things to make us like want to carry on watching. I think it was like an hour in, where is the first kind of bit of action that we get, which is when you first see the worm thing. Because what is it they're going to do? I think.
Shai Hulud.
Huh?
The Shai Hulud worm.
That's the name of the worm, yeah.
Is that what it's
They
called?
went to,
Yeah. So what?
look at the spice thing at first.
Yeah. When they go to look at it, and then shit goes wrong. And then even then you get the part obviously where Paul, like, what is it? He touches like the spice, or he touches the sand, and then he gets like another kind of flashback and then fucks shit up. So it was interesting in that sense. It again, it made me want to watch sort of the rest of the movie and to see what came next. I think the end of the movie was where you said he kills the black guy,
Yeah,
right?
he's fighting
Which was really easy for him. I felt like there should have been probably a bit more of a battle, but I think they did kind of say that he wasn't really that strong anyway.
No.
No.
Is that-
No, the black guy was stronger, no?
Really? Oh, he seemed to deal with him pretty quickly
I
then.
mean, this is the first time he's killed someone.
Yeah.
As well, so
Yeah, so it was important, yeah, obviously,
Yeah,
but
it was-
yeah, it just seemed like it was a bit.
But, so I don't know if I'm, but Paul was trained by like literally two of the greatest fighters in their whole universe.
Duncan and
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay,
so,
yeah.
So his
That's Jason Momoa, right? And
yeah, Jason Moore and
Gurney.
Josh Brolin.
and just
like,
brilliant. Okay.
They are the literal two best in the whole entire universe
Yeah.
of Dune. So it's like,
Do we know that?
yes,
Did they tell us that?
yeah. They said it in the thing. They said it in the movie. So I'm not even bringing extra shit in. They said
that could
that.
just be them bragging, but you know.
Yeah, I mean,
I hate
We haven't seen the other.
it's one of those things where at first, like, it's like Jamie Lannister. How good was he really? Like, you only hear it from people saying it and stuff. We don't get to see it, but you kind of have to take it because some good people are saying it. So it's the same thing. But that's what I'm saying. So him beating him that quickly, I was not surprised by, just because
Yeah.
that part of the training. But yeah,
I thought it was more just because he had the vision beforehand, so he could see what happens.
Yeah,
I mean, that could be a
yeah.
thing
Swear.
too.
Yeah, that could have been it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Based on-
I don't think his visions
reason
like
why
that
I
were
don't-
kicking in until later.
The reason
But-
why
Nah,
I don't think
'cause-
that is because at that point the visions were kind of inconsistent, and to that point he had only seen. Jamis
But
as
he had like a
friend.
vision just before that where he died, or he got stabbed by the black guy.
But it was by
Chani.
Yes, I assumed like the sequence played out the same, but then he just
No, because in that vision with Chani, they were like embracing, and then he moved away, and then he saw the blood.
Yeah, it was like,
It was like, yeah, they were going for
no,
a
no, no,
hug,
no,
like,
no,
and then
not the girl, the black guy.
They didn't fight in his vision. They were just talking. So I'm saying, even if you say it's a
But
vision, I don't
Shani,
think
that's
it's a vision
the
because
isn't that the girl?
Chani's a girl.
No, I'm talking about the black
You're
guy.
talking about Jamis, yeah.
Yeah,
He didn't fight Jamis in his visions.
he did. He got stabbed.
No, he didn't.
Did
When
he
he
not?
got stabbed was when he went to embrace Chani in the vision.
I thought.
and then
I'm pretty sure
moved
he had a
away and
vision
saw the
before
blood.
he had
No,
a
he
fight
didn't.
with him.
He didn't. That's part of why he was shook at first, because he
pretty
thought
sure he
Jamis
did.
was going to be a friend. Because even after that, he was saying, "Jamis, help me." When
We'll have to verify this.
Because remember, when he got the knife, he got the vision of he knows that he needs the knife for
someone give him
something,
the knife,
and then he knows he needs the knife for something in it.
Yeah.
So obviously it was Chani that gave him the knife, innit? That
I'm 100% sure he had a vision of the fight before the fight happened.
nah, he didn't have a vision.
Quick question: was that
We'll
knife the
verify
one he
this.
used to fight Fade, or
I don't know. I thought so.
No,
you
it's the
know.
same one
I thought
because
so,
she
you know.
didn't give it back. Like she gave him.
It probably
She
is.
gave him the knife.
so was that vision in reference to him fighting Fade, or was it
I don't think so.
okay?
Like, he didn't have a vision of fire. Is what I'm doing.
Oh, sorry, him getting stabbed. Sorry.
Yeah, so that vision was him and Chani.
Oh,
I feel
I feel
like
like that was foreshadowing more so the conflict between them, in terms of
Okay.
like, because she was saying, "I don't want you to become this all-powerful savior
Okay.
or whatnot," and he had that.
it better not
struggle.
be what she does in part 3 to him.
I mean, we'll get there. But
I mean-
I also think in kind of in simpler terms, it's like he has the knife. He knows he's going to have to use it. There's a vision of him getting stabbed by, like, obviously the girl is there in it, so someone is going to stab him, or like he's going to have to
Maybe
defend
the
himself.
Fremen.
And then he's put in a position where he's going to have to fight. So it's like,
And he didn't think it would be Jamis because
Yeah.
to his visions to that point, Jamis was the one helping him, talking him through, telling him to like let go when he was in the desert and all this stuff. So him, like, that's why he was a little shook at first, because he didn't think A, he would have to fight him, and B, he didn't think he would have to kill him. So yeah, I don't think the reason why he won was because he saw it before. That's all.
Side note, I think Jamis is like is he like a UFC fighter or like he's like martial arts or something? Or like he's like a proper world champion or something. So that's
the actor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair.
Yeah, what did you give your rating, Darren? Before we go to
I probably would have given it like a 7. Yeah, okay. Maybe a 7, maybe a 6, but yeah. Interesting. I was underwhelmed largely from the hype I'd seen about the first movie.
Now, Ali, you've got a lot to say, Precious. Could you give us a quick recap of what your thoughts were from the first one?
I'll try to be brief. But basically, I went into this because at the time when the first Dune came out, like I saw the trailers and all of that, and I didn't understand why people were getting excited about it because it just didn't move me in that way. So I kind of left it. This is 2021, whenever that was. And then 2 comes out, and everyone's talking about 2, but again, I paid no mind until I can't remember if it was you.
It was me.
But someone mentions it, and I'm like, all right, let me just give it a watch.
Well, you watched 2 first?
No. I was saying, let me just watch it, but then I knew that was 2, so I had to catch up with 1 first. So I watched it knowing I'd follow that up with 2, pretty much straight after. But I fell in love with Dune like as soon as it started, and I don't know if it's just my affinity for like that whole fantasy thing, because before that point, like recently I've been rewatching Lord of the Rings, rewatching history and laws of Game of Thrones. So I guess I was kind of primed for all of that sort of like that lore part of the thing. So watching it, I just fell in love with the characters, the world, the storytelling, the visuals, everything they were doing as far as the first movie. And I think they gave us the exact amount of information that we needed to move from A to B to C. Now, at the time when I was first watching it, of course you had questions like, okay, what's this? How does this play in? And so on. But again, in my head, I know, okay, I'm watching part 2, so I'm not worrying too much about how it's going to fit. I just know, okay, I need that piece of information and so on. So it made sense to me. Going back to one of the things, I can't remember the points you guys made, but you were saying something like, I think one of you said you wanted more world building in that sense in terms of the history. I think they gave us enough of that, again, at the start of the story, because with most of these fantasy stories, like if you think back to like Lord of the Rings and all sorts, they usually like build as the story goes. So you learn a lot of like Isildur's, the shards of Narsil. You don't see that at the beginning or anything, but they tell you when they get to Rivendell, and then they start.
They give you the prologue though. In the first one,
it starts off with the history.
No. I'm
like talking about stuff in it. Yeah,
the ring starts with.
I'm saying there are parts. That was a poor example, obviously, but there are parts of the story that don't get like expounded on until you get to certain locations or you meet certain characters.
Yeah.
So for me, I usually build that into any movie anyway. Like I don't know. Maybe it's just. My taste is different. I don't need like a lot of information at the start. It's just depending on, again, if you give me a lot of that information at the start, fair enough. It's how you tell the story. And I felt like the way they chose to tell it, it kind of made sense given the amount of information they let go. One of the other, in terms of world building, in terms of Paul and how he was and everything about him as far as the main character vibes, like I kind of liked, again, the lore of it because they were telling you why he had certain abilities. They told you about his upbringing. They told you about his conflict as far as like wanting to be his father's son and feeling like he couldn't live up to that. All those kinds of things. So I think they made him a real character in my mind. And one of my favorites. So the couple of scenes, the 2 scenes that I put above any of the scenes, both part 1 and 2. But one of them is in part 1, and that's the scene where he was talking with his father before they left Caladan, and that was like, I don't know if I'm made for this. I don't know, what if I'm not the one? And that conversation with him and his dad, I don't know what it is, but that hit me every time because you're expecting like the father to be like, you have no choice, you have to do this, you have responsibilities and whatnot. But he was like, nah, if that's not what you want to do, fair enough. The only thing I needed you to be was my son. But for the history, for your ancestors, just give it a try. Like that for me, it's like if you want someone to just, because one of the things, you know me, I hate this teenage angst, and I was worried that he would start to become that kind of a character, but his father saying, for the sake of your ancestors, there's no pressure, but for their sake, just give it a try. Yeah. That for me is like, if you're someone who's reasonable, I don't see the angle for angst in there. And if anything, it just gives you that like, okay, my dad's on my side, but let's just see what's going on in it. So I love that. That was my favorite scene in the first movie. But the fighting styles, all of it. That's what you mentioned. I think one of you mentioned the shields. I thought so. I was watching loads, like after seeing the whole thing, watching people's reactions to it. A lot of people are confused about the shields. I'm like, they explain everything and it makes perfect sense. The shields are like, when he was training him, like you can penetrate. It's not impenetrable. It just helps you against like big blows. So if you're moving in slow, you can penetrate it, but it'll take time, as we saw with Duncan, because when they try to kill him, you have some time to like counter and stuff. So depending on the skill level, and the only people we saw who could like maneuver and work their way against the shield efficiently were 2 people, actually 4: Paul, Duncan, Idaho, Jason Momoa, Gurney, Josh Brolin, and the Fremen. And they're just beasts anyway, because Duncan said it, like they fight like beasts. So they have like, with spice and everything mixed into their whole shit. Like,
The Fremen don't have aura though.
No, they don't have the shields. I'm saying, I'm talking about the people who are effective against the shield that we know. Like quickly, it's those four groups of people, and I'm saying like that whole thing makes sense. And they couldn't use the shields in the desert because it attracts worms. So when people were like, "Oh, why don't they have the shields all the time?" It's like, no, they can't. They already explained all of this. So I don't know. I feel like part 1 gave me enough information to establish everything that was going to go on, and yeah, I really liked it. It made all the sense to me.
What would you give it out of 10?
I thought it was amazing. Like I'll give it a 9 out of 10. He's taking the mic.
Sorry. Go on, say that again. Sorry.
By typing means you need to get the mic.
Yeah. I gave it a 9 out of 10. Honestly, I thought it was spectacular. Like there are very few things that, again, some of the complaints about like, okay, maybe some information was not clear, or some of the world building, like even like information on like the emperor and all of these people. Yeah. I'm like, you don't really need that.
They want to be smooth.
Yeah. Like you don't really need like, because they tell you the reason why you were saying, oh, I wanted to know why they were having this conflict. The Leto says it. It's like, the emperor is worried about the Atreides' power, and so he's going to give them, start this war so they can fight themselves and be less. Meanwhile, he still has his army. Like they say all these things. So for me, it made sense. Like I don't need to see the emperor. Like you know what politics is like. Like all they're going to show is some guy sitting in a throne room and say, "Oh, I want to attack these people because they have too much power." No, I don't need that. Like, and the way they said it, it's not like some random exposition. Like he's saying it in a way where Leto is explaining it to Paul, he's explaining it to like the people around him. So it's organic. It's not just like information dump. So I don't know. For me, it made sense. Like,
I'm just gonna say I agree with you a lot with what you said. I agree with the rating, 9 out of 10. I can maybe give it 8.5 if I'm being being nitpicky, but fantastic film. At first, I'll say the whole like quick story thing kind of pissed me off, because I'm thinking, like, as they said, oh, we don't know who's who, but obviously when that Atreides family gets wiped out, it's like we don't even need to give a fuck who's who. Like they're out, they're done. I don't think I've seen a family get wiped out like that since since something in Game of Thrones. I think something like that has probably happened like that. And yeah, I'd say it was a great film. The ending, I was quite pissed off, to be honest. Because obviously I didn't know it was a part 1 or part 2 or anything. So I thought it was a piss take when I came out, to be honest. I was like, and the worst thing is that it wasn't marketed as a part 1 or part 2. So it's like, no, it weren't. It was in the posters. Nah. I didn't see it.
No, it was just
I didn't see it. They was just doing it. So I was like, okay, but you know what? Whatever. I love sci-fi.
Did you know they had the books and stuff before going into the first movie?
I knew of the book. I knew of Dune, the Frank Herbert thing. I knew it, but
then you should have expected.
No, but I'm saying like everyone has said that the film, like the books, are like so complicated, and the film back in the day, it's like it was done at a time where like sci-fi and the technology, it just wasn't matching. So now it's like, okay, we can do it, but. Nah, I just wanted to go in blind, because it's like there's.
No, I'm not saying read the book. I'm just saying if you knew there was a book and people were saying it's complicated, you have to expect at least like different parts.
No, I mean like I knew there was a book, but I thought because there was a film before, the film just said the whole thing in it, so I didn't know that this was going to be 1, 2. Yeah. I even thought this was going to be 1 and 2 until they said the third one was coming. But yeah, great film, and after it I was like, yeah, Denis is probably 2 directors now, and I think he's had a flawless run. The guy who directed it, I think he's had a flawless run for.
I haven't seen any of his other movies.
I don't know. He's had a flawless run for I think a while now. It's him and Nolan. But yeah,
What are his other movies?
his other movies are Arrival.
Oh,
Nah, I've not seen it.
Arrival, good movie.
You ain't seen Arrival.
Damn,
I think he's did
that's
Blade
two
Runner.
good side. That's two good
Blade
time.
Runner
Time
20
movie.
something.
Blade
Blade-
Runner.
You did Blade Runner too.
Which one?
I think I don't know
The new
20,
one.
40 something.
Wasn't
Nah,
that-
I've not seen that.
Wasn't that Ridley Scott?
He did Prisoners.
You did Prisoners. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
He's-
okay, yeah, right, okay, you already know.
These are top movies.
Has anyone seen Sicario?
Nah.
no, not so far.
Ah,
I've seen like some scenes in it, but I hear it feels like.
okay. But yeah, he's
But yeah,
yeah.
he's known for visuals apparently.
Like he's
I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
the visuals in
Okay,
both
okay.
movies were amazing.
and you can thank the cinematographer who was Greg Fraser for that.
Yeah, that's
Right, okay, we might as well talk about the second one now. Coming off the first one, did we have any expectations for the second one? Like when you were going into it, did anyone have? What did you think was going to happen?
I mean, to be fair, I was hoping to get wrapped up. To be fair, but yeah, I bumped into someone who was like, "Oh, the first one or the second one goes into like half of the first book, and there's multiple books." I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be long." So I knew again this wasn't going to be like finished. But yeah, no. I mean, to be fair, I enjoyed the second one a lot more than I did the first one. But I feel like again, slow start.
We got a glimpse of Florence Pugh. I don't know who her character was. I should have wrote that down.
The daughter of the Empress.
Yeah, Empress.
Yeah,
Daughter.
She basically wasn't in it.
That's like, I don't know who.
She was the narrator, wasn't she?
Yeah, I know she was the daughter,
Yeah.
but like, I don't know her name in it. Like, so, you know what I mean?
Oh,
She's one of
right.
those ones.
Yeah, Christopher Walken. Yeah.
I don't know. So this is the thing that usually gets me. Like when people are talking about these, like I don't care about these actors in it. Like I'm going into it, I'm watching it as like I don't get. It could have been like some random person off the street playing these people. The story to me was what I was there for. So when because again, you're echoing a lot of the things like a lot of reviewers do, where it's like, oh, Christopher Walken, all these people are like, I don't give a fuck. I don't even know these people to begin with. But I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying like it's like we're focusing on the wrong thing because some people will see the actors and expect like, oh, they need to do this in the role. I'm just like, bro, in the context of this second movie, like whoever the Emperor is as an actor, fine, but like it made sense given what his character was supposed to do. Done, dusted.
Wait, because you said the conversation between the father and the son was great. Was it because of the content of that conversation, or because
I don't
of
give a fuck about who the actors were?
because that was Oscar Isaac?
Yeah, I know he did.
Whoa!
And
I
like
know,
he-
Hey, that's another W for me.
Yeah, they didn't.
No
win
worry,
that.
I'll
So,
clip that one.
Again,
Thank you for
like,
that.
great actors. I'm not saying I need shitty actors or anything. Like obviously, whoever is doing it should perform the role perfectly. But I'm just saying I'm not focused on this actor is great, so I expect great things. I'm just like you're in a movie. Like I'm watching you portray something. Portray it well. I don't care what your name is.
Hold on, Florence Pugh is barely in it. Like we're talking about the wrong person here. We're talking about the wrong people here.
I'm saying I don't even care what the people are.
But
She performed her role as Princess Irulan like perfectly.
okay, that's interesting. That's
Not a
interesting.
small sample
Could
size.
be,
Yeah.
it could be someone else. Like I
mean,
care.
okay, would you say it was more or less than Zendaya in the first one?
Obviously Zendaya because she's got more of a role.
No, I said in the first one.
Nah, it's pretty much the same. I mean, she probably spoke more than Zendaya, so probably more.
No, she didn't. They're about the same.
I think Anthony's right.
Nah, for sure she did. Zendaya showed up in the end to be like, oh, like don't touch my people. Like,
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I'll probably give her more in terms of like her role. But again, she's just sitting down and reading some shit. Like she's writing a diary. So I don't know how much acting goes into that. But again, it didn't matter to me. Like she did what she was supposed to do. But they both did. So
it's interesting you say that because I feel like with the names of the actors and actresses who are in this movie, they kind of attracted me to even watch it in the first place. When you hear that Zendaya is in it, at the time Timothy Chalamet, he was good, but I didn't know he was this good. And in this movie, he just excelled for me. He just like went off.
yeah, whoever he is, he became. So this is probably I don't know if I've seen
Oscar
him in anything
Isaac,
else, but like
Josh Brolin,
Yeah.
what's it? Aquaman, Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa.
Like I know, but like in general, like when you have big names
She
like that,
is-
Yeah,
Rebecca
she's good.
Ferguson,
She's solid.
Let's pick up the mother,
She
Reverend
is-
Mother.
she
We'll
is
get onto her soon.
awesome.
She was probably the best actor.
she was
in the
great in
movie
Mission
for me.
Impossible
I
as
haven't
well.
watched interviews of her after like just.
Has anyone seen Silo?
She's amazing.
No,
If you like her, watch Silo.
Yeah.
Apple TV, very good.
Like yeah, Rebecca Ferguson. She was amazing. She was amazing.
But yeah, okay. So we're starting off the like kind of the start of the film. You know, we get that glimpse of Florence Pugh. We see Jamis is kind of being taken back to the siege, and then we're kind of seeing like Paul kind of being taken back there, and the kind of animosity he's getting from being this guy. Stilgar played by what's his name, Javier Bardem. What do you think of him quickly?
Stilgar?
Yeah,
He's a dick rider.
Hilarious, man. What did you say?
He's the ultimate dick rider. He's Ebony Moore.
Oh, allow it, man.
Yeah.
Wasn't he the leader of the
It's a
Fremen?
good comparison.
Yeah, he just became like a caricature.
Or like he was a representative.
I don't think
It's just a meme, really. Like,
no,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
it turns out it ends up becoming. I don't even want to say that because like that is it's a realistic portrayal of what a religious zealot would be,
yeah,
and that's just how they are.
yeah.
That's not like a. Obviously, we've caricaturized them. Jesus, if that's a word. We've turned them into caricatures just in 21st century and everything we do with social media and all that stuff. But that's just get these men and put them in any room. Like that's just how they are. So for me, it added to the authenticity of his character in terms of how he would behave. And it wasn't just like, he didn't just accept it straight away. He had his doubts at first because when they went to the meeting in the first movie and it was like, I see you, he was skeptical of him at first and all these other things. But again,
I thought that was good. Again, that was
yeah,
what
like
I
he's
classed him
like
for.
because of his religious bent, he's inclined to like if you're someone who's really religious and you know about all these prophecies and you're just seeing them keep like someone's checking all the boxes, like at some point you're just gonna be like, you know what, like that's just it, which is what his character is exactly. Like so his character, I don't know, like he was flawless.
excellent.
I can't think of anyone who didn't do their job. Like I think he's perfect.
Speaking of the prophecy, what do you guys think of the prophecy? The Lisan al-Gaib.
Just basic, isn't it?
I mean,
They introduced it in the first movie, right?
yeah,
Like when Rebecca Ferguson's character was walking, the Fremen were whispering like, "Listen, I'll Gaib" to her.
yeah.
So it's like they know of this Listen, Al Gaib Messiah.
What do you
but
think just of the prophecy itself? Like the fact that it's the voice from the outer world type thing. Like, what do you think of that? Do you think it's a good prophecy? Do you think it's something that doesn't really make sense?
Initially, I didn't think it was that good of a prophecy because we knew the Bene Gesserit. Them women they all had the power of the voice. So like any one of them could have been this like or fulfilled the prophecy. Had we not seen the Bene Gesserit, maybe I would have been more like into that prophecy just because there's less of them, or there was less of a possibility of that it could be one of them. But the fact that it could be any of one of these women makes
Has
it
to be a
more
man, no?
of a, like a.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? Any one of these women as what?
So basically, as a prophecy, more likely than not, it's going to be just one person fulfilling it, right? But when you're introduced to the Bene Gesserit, especially because you was introduced to them in part 1 very early on, when the woman, the mother Reverend, was testing Paul, like
Played by Charlotte Rambling.
yeah, that it's more it's less likely that they are actually the Messiah. It's more likely that it's just a rumor or like a myth that like Chinese whispers. Oh, there's this person who from this outer world that has power.
Yeah.
So that it could be literally anyone. Like
So to the Fremen,
it's just them. Like to them, it seems like a supernatural power, right?
yeah, to the Fremen it seems that way, but the Bene Gesserit have been playing this like breeding strategy game, right, where they want to build this person, the Kwisatz Haderach, who has the ultimate power as they see it, and that's the prophecy. So that's the whole goal. It's almost like, think of it as like if Christianity was an agenda, where it's like where we've got everything about our religions leading up to Jesus coming back. But as far as we know, it's Jesus, it's religion, all of this. But to the outer beings, it's an alien coming back to like claim whatever there is. Let's just assume that, right? I'm saying to the Fremen, it would look like a religious thing. It would look like it's all written in prophecy. But the Bene Gesserit, for generations, I think, generations, they've gone to all these places. They've
been manipulating
the globe, and they're building their own agenda. They have their hands in every civilization, every planet.
I think because
and they're using the Lisan al-Gaib as the kind of like springboard for when that person comes to kind of launch the ascension for what they're doing.
Exactly.
But for me, I don't even know if the Bene Gesserit even believe there is a Listen Al Gaib.
No, they do.
Like,
No,
Listen
you're getting
I
it
feel
wrong.
like
You're getting it wrong.
they're manufacturing it themselves.
Well, of course, that's what I'm saying.
No, the Lisan al-Gaib is not real to the Bene Gesserit because they planted the stories.
Yeah,
What
exactly. It's like a planted
what
story.
they're looking for is the Kwisatz Haderach thing, which is the one, the all-knowing whatever being person. the what's it called? The
It's
first
like having,
one.
It's like having the same character, but it's got different names in different civilizations. That's what I'm saying. The Bene Gesserit they're creating this Kwisatz Haderach. That's what they know him as. He's a tool for them. That's what they want. But so the other people that they've planted these seeds to in Arrakis, they call him Lisan Gaib. In another planet, they'll have another name for him based on their religious faith that the Bene Gesserit have been building and infiltrating. So the name isn't really important. It's the character and the power they have. That's the thing. For the Bene Gesserit, they've just said you'll see the Lisan Gaib is going to be this voice from the outer world, which is the son of this family that we've been putting together.
Yeah.
The Fremen don't know who that person or what that person's lineage is. They just know, okay, we'll hear this at some point, and this will be our Lisan Gaib. But the Bene Gesserit know him as the Kwisatz Haderach. That's the thing they're building.
And that's why I don't really like the prophecy, because it's a manufactured one. It's not like an actual linear kind of prophecy.
Yeah, but you can
it's not like Harry Potter where the prophecy is going to happen.
You can argue it's more interesting because you get to see how any prophecy is put together. Because again, if you're looking at it from a cynical mind, like who's to say any prophecy you've ever seen?
That's true, but we're watching it as a movie, right? So I thought initially the prophecy was like a divine kind of prophecy that would happen, not one that's manufactured by people.
You know, it's two prophecies, right? You know, it's the prophecy of the Lisan Gaib for the Fremen, and it's the prophecy of the Kwisatz Haderach for the Bene Gesserit.
Yeah, but
yeah,
the Bene Gesserit built the Fremen prophecies.
Yeah. But
that's what I'm saying.
They built it for the Kwisatz Haderach.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
We're saying the same thing.
Exactly.
But the Lisan Gaib is a fake prophecy. The Kwisatz Haderach is the real prophecy. That's what they're working towards. That's what they're searching for. That's what they're doing this.
I said what I was explaining was the Fremen calling him Lisan Gaib. For the Bene Gesserit, it doesn't matter what they call him. It's the same person.
It doesn't.
It's the same person. Yeah, it's just different names for the same person.
Yeah.
But I think the prophecy is it's interesting because it gives you a look at whatever prophecy or whatever religion you're looking into, how does it actually begin? That's what Paul was struggling with. These people see him as a savior, but he knows his mother is part of this organization that's actually
manufacturing
engineered the whole thing. But
technically, it does mean gift of interpreting the will of the gods. So it's it's supposed to be like a all-knowing type thing, but it's like it can't be all-knowing if your mum's there and she's telling you everything, and then the little baby's there telling you as well. So that doesn't make sense.
Well, they were only telling him because he hadn't drank the water of life. He wouldn't need them if he drank it.
That's peer pressure still.
But if you're asking about the implications of a prophecy,
but you said Harry Potter, what were you gonna say there about Harry Potter? Because you said his one was like.
Okay, I'll get onto that right after this one. The implications of the prophecy to the Fremen, the Lisan Gaib, that's done beautifully. That's done exceptionally well. Because then, like you said, you see how religious zealots react to kind of divine acts and stuff, and how religions can start that kind of thing. But in terms of the Harry Potter one, like I said, one prophecy is engineered, one's manufactured. So to me, as a viewer, that one's false. The Lisan Gaib one is false. It's engineered by the Bene Gesserit and all them kind of people. The one about to the Bene Gesserit, the one that you were saying, what's his name? Yeah, I don't know for them if they believe that is an actual prophecy or not, or is it the one they're just trying to create?
You're thinking of it in
are they predicting it
in terms of mystical power? Forget that.
Yeah,
this is just the work of engineering.
Yeah,
the Bene Gesserit.
The Bene Gesserit have the voice, so we know that that's something mystical that we don't really know. The thing
see, this is why I don't want to bring. You're talking about. It's not really a book thing. It's in this.
Allow it. Yeah.
It's the point. This
conversation.
We're
going to cut you off there.
We're going to cut you.
No. Cut his mic. Cut his mic.
I'll take it.
No. We don't care.
Yeah.
We do not care.
Nah. No one told you to be doing YouTube videos ahead about what's going on.
Yeah.
Let me finish anyway. Yeah, Anubis. If it was like the Harry Potter one, where I think in Harry Potter the prophecy was going to happen, regardless of anyone or anyone. Sorry, no one engineered the prophecy. It was just it was going to happen, right?
I mean, it only happened because of Voldemort, but it wasn't if Voldemort.
No one created the.
What was the Harry Potter prophecy?
That Harry was going to become the one who killed him or something. He was going to be killed by.
No, one can't live while the other survives.
Yeah, whatever that was.
Actually, I don't know if that's the. Oh yeah, that is a prophecy. Yeah.
But
was that a prophecy?
The question is forcing you to ask is the Harry Potter one. Who created that initial?
Is it better than Matrix prophecy?
Yeah, whichever prophecy you're looking at, who created it? Because it had to originate
probably
from
Dumbledore.
no, this is my point. So in that case, Dumbledore would be the Bene Gesserit because to other people, to the masses,
someone has
it's
to
all
make the
supernatural.
prophecy.
But there is an
come out of
origin
nowhere.
point, and the only difference here is in this case we know who actually started it.
Yeah,
and that's
why I don't like it.
Well, that's fair enough.
No, but it's the exact same thing as Harry Potter, though.
That's
in Harry Potter, I don't know who made the prophecy.
That's it. That's
okay. You don't like the. Okay.
I don't like the fact that I know that these women were the one who engineered the prophecy.
Yeah, but we don't know exactly who made it, though.
That's true.
Because in my eyes, I feel like prophecy isn't something that you make. It's something.
So what do you think of the Game of Thrones one then?
What was the Game of Thrones one?
Prince who was promised.
Yeah.
Sorry?
The Prince who was promised.
Azor Ahai.
Azor Ahai, yeah.
Yeah, that is why the ending was shit.
No, it's not.
Because I thought
take your emotions away from it. Take your emotions away from it.
Yeah, I like the prophecy because I didn't know who made it, and I thought John was the one who's going to fulfill it. Yeah. Technically, you could argue that he did.
That was a prophecy that just filtered out. Like we didn't even get an answer.
But I liked it because I didn't know who created the prophecy. So in my eyes, I feel like the prophecy was like things are happening in order of how it should be.
What about Anakin?
Yeah, that prophecy also. Yeah, I loved it.
So it gets into the question of like.
I don't like the prophecies being man-made or man-made.
Okay, you like Arrival. What about Arrival?
What about it?
Because that's technically kind of like a prophecy thing.
No, it's not.
It is.
When did they predict alien? No, okay.
No. I mean, if you're not, if you watched film in it, so
yeah, very long time ago.
So she always kind of.
Yeah, you're going into spoilers there. We don't know.
I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm saying if prophecy is about understanding and whatever the story of what's happening, then she kind of did that.
I'm gonna get to like what's your favorite scenes and whatnot. Man.
All right, let's just jump straight into it. What's your favorite scene?
In the second one, favorite scene.
And let's start with Anthony or Darren.
No, Anthony, you go.
Favorite scene. I think when he told the woman to shut up. Can't lie.
That was mad.
Yeah, when it was like silence.
Yeah,
that bit. When his uncle. I mean, I have problems with that. It's giving me Ichigo vibes, like when Paul is related to the Arcanons and the
Baron.
That
made sense.
It makes sense because I guess if they're related, they're related. Like you can't.
Good question.
Why? It's not that. It goes back to the whole Bene Gesserit thing because.
See, this is
they're having babies with everyone, sort of thing. Yeah, but like for me, it's like. I mean, like, why did we have to have that connection, sort of thing? Like, what does it really mean?
Okay, right.
There's a reason for it, and it tells you in the movie, but you guys always just say it. That's why I'm getting frustrated.
But
the first time we saw the Reverend Mother, where she was scolding Rebecca in the first scene, when she was like, "You're supposed to give birth to a girl," and all of these other things. The Bene Gesserit have a plan where each generation they select from specific bloodlines to build this Kwisatz Haderach. Rebecca was supposed to have a girl. That girl was supposed to get married to Fade Arthur and then produce the Kwisatz Haderach. But Rebecca, because she loved Leto, his father, she gave him a son anyway because that's what he wanted. And so she purposefully ignored her instructions and decided, okay, I'm going to get the Kwisatz Haderach myself. And she actually succeeded, right?
Okay, so this child...
This is not book shit. This is too much.
Okay, so the child is meant to be like...
That's in the movie.
I feel like you know too much.
No.
That was in the film.
Okay.
He's a Bene Gesserit.
So the child is meant to have like all races, sort of thing.
So yeah, the whole point is that they're genetically building this perfect.
I mean, the child is a bit too Caucasian for me, if that's the case. But never mind.
Hold on. This whole film is fucking Caucasian. Now, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
This whole white boy coming to.
There was literally an Asian guy in the first film.
But one Asian guy.
Exactly.
So the whole film was about
if
this
there's
white boy being the savior for the people of the sands. Like, come on, let's be real.
The people of the sands.
It's not white savior story.
Okay,
Don't
but
even start
that's
that.
fine.
Don't even start
No,
that.
it definitely no. First of all, no, it definitely is a white savior story. What are you talking about? The whitest person is going to the people of the sands. What are we talking about?
It's definitely a white savior story.
This is definitely a white savior story.
Are you saying it's not? We're not gonna get into it.
Stop. To make this argument,
So you
I
are.
have to go into like
Into what?
the actual books and all these other things.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you
I'm
don't.
telling you, I have to.
No, you
No, you
don't.
don't.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Fine.
Is it a white savior story?
Let's move on.
Is he white?
I don't think it is.
Visually, does it look like a white savior story?
Bro, do you see that picture when
This
he's
man
That's a
is.
stupid argument to make.
Bro, when
No,
we
no,
go back
no.
to the
It's
Seas,
very-
is it not all just black people and brown people?
What are you talking about?
When he first goes back to like the Seas and all that, when they're all like cussing him and that, they're like, "You witch, you blah 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 blah." Are they not just all black and brown people?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
And the Fremen are all black and brown
You're
people.
talking about one planet.
No.
living on the whole universe, which the story is about.
No, we're talking about the story is about Arrakis. Don't do that. Don't do that. These two films are about Arrakis.
Focused in Arrakis.
Yes.
But it's about a whole.
See, this is what happens when you're watching YouTube videos. We're talking about the universe. We're talking about these two films.
I said to make this argument, I'll have to go into shit you guys don't want me to
No,
talk about.
but we haven't seen it yet.
So, okay.
Let's go back to the point.
So, anyway, so yeah, so we're talking about favorite scenes. So that when his uncle gets killed, that's a good scene.
Yeah, his grandfather, not his uncle.
I don't care, man.
The Baron.
Yeah, when the Baron dies.
I was confused when he said uncle. Who's the uncle?
When the Baron dies, when that's it. Really. I mean, I guess when he's riding the giant worm fin as well.
Wait, what do you think about the fight scene?
As well.
The what?
What do you think about the fight scene?
Is this film the one where the bit where him and Zendaya are trying to shoot the rocket launchers at the thing?
Yeah,
I like that.
That was hard.
That was
hard.
sick.
That was hard.
Yeah, I like that scene. And yeah, the first time that he rides the worm. I didn't like the end, to be honest. Like in terms of like the final battle and the final fight.
It was too short.
I thought it was too short.
It was too
and
short.
I don't think there was enough. Like
I'm gonna be saying something.
I'm not on the boat. I'm not on that boat. I'm not on that boat.
Nah, it's too short.
I'm ready to put it very high.
I'm ready to make proclamation.
That fight.
Wait,
Stop it.
are you talking about like the one?
Okay, make a proclamation.
It's better than Winter Soldier's fight.
Stop it.
Whoa,
Bro, the spin alone is mad enough.
The spin.
I know he gets clapped.
Stop it.
Nah, stop it, man.
You barely see it.
Wait, what?
I'm someone who loves that last fight.
Are you talking about the spin where then he drops and swipes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cold, but
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, that's not Winter Soldier. That's not Winter
Is it
Soldier,
better
bro.
than when Soldier and Cap were doing the knife with the hand to hand?
You need to stop. We're losing recipes now, man. We need to stop.
You're losing that.
Hey, Olivia, you're on Spice.
Yeah, you're on Spice.
Too
He's got
much.
glasses on because his eyes are blue. Innit?
I'm being so real. I'm being so real.
Take off the shades. Take off the shades.
That fight was meaty. I'm sorry.
Very meaty.
Whoa!
I'm so
You
sorry.
lot don't know good fighting. That's okay. Next you lot
It was not meaty, but it was not Winter Soldier.
Nah.
In between.
They didn't need to do all that stuff where they're looking at Zendaya for time. Like, just get on with the fight, bruv. Like the part where he gets stabbed and then the guy's like,
at that point,
basically, is that your babes?
They were gonna bring that in.
They had to get audience reactions to have him to fight. Like, like stop it.
The winner becomes emperor. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, the stakes were too high.
He just deals with him
The
quite
stakes
quickly
were too high then.
Nah. No, not at all.
Too quick. Look at the fight with Josh Brolin and Raban. That one ended like this, and it made sense because you're fighting someone who's a pro.
Yeah.
They're too sick at what they do.
Yeah.
Like if I'm really good at what I do, what the fuck am I gonna waste time with you doing back and forth? And these two people.
So how was it a good fight then? It was just quick.
It was quick because like you saw the angles, the different the hand to hand combat.
It was
all
not
that
a good
stuff,
fight.
with the knife, with the acrobaticism.
Are you talking about the Batista fight?
Are you talking about Josh Brolin? Are you talking about the one in the first one?
Paul
Is it
versus
the one in
Fade.
the first one?
I'm talking about
With
the end fight.
No,
Paul versus Fade.
you said about the one with Josh Brolin being quick. Is that the one in the first one?
No, the
No.
second one,
Oh.
where
Oh,
he
which
went
one?
to
Revenge,
Batista.
Batista, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not really much of a
I
fight
bring
then.
that up to say, I bring that up to say that
No,
fight
that's
being
not-
that quick
Uh-huh.
makes sense because of who is fighting in it. You're talking about one person who's like again top 2 in the whole universe against some random coward. Of course, it's going to be quick.
Yeah.
Why am I wasting time with
But
you?
I'm talking- okay,
And
so
I'm
wait,
saying,
final
I'm
fight.
saying,
Yeah.
pull that together in the context of okay, you have Fade Rother, and Paul. These two people are going for the kill. They're not saying because again, you could argue like the whole stuff with Winter Soldier. They're not fighting to kill, so that will go on forever. These people are trying to end you in the quickest way possible. There's no messing about, and we've seen that throughout this whole franchise. So if I've got,
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to interject because Bucky was definitely trying to kill Steve in this fight.
Yeah,
but
for
again,
sure.
But
one
Steve-
person is
Steve
trying
wasn't.
not to kill.
Steve wasn't.
Right, exactly. So Steve is going to prolong the fight because he's going to be evading and all this shit. So my point still stands. If you've got two people, Fade Rother, who's looking to kill, they've shown he's a savage. He's not trying to mess around. And then you've got Paul, who just wants to he's seen the path. He just wants to end this. He doesn't want the war to last longer than it should. Of course, they're going to end it quickly.
No,
And
I don't know about that. Because
the fight is not going to be. The fight is not going to be prolonged.
He didn't need to fight Fade.
Okay.
He didn't need to fight Fade. No, he didn't need to fight Fade.
Yes, he had to fight Fade. He told the Emperor,
They cornered them into
choose your
the.
champion.
They cornered them in the room. He could have killed.
What is this brother talking about?
He had to fight.
No, he could have slaughtered all of them.
No.
He had a whole family behind him.
No, he couldn't do that because then he invites the anger of all the other families.
He already
His
did-
first
he
move
did
was
that
to
already.
Because he
negotiate.
literally says he has to go send a message and say
Yeah,
that
he has to
all these
negotiate
people.
that. He's not going to fight all the other people. That's what are you talking about? Of course he had to fight.
Okay, actually, Why was the fight great to you? That's what I want to know.
No, again, the choreography was good. Again, stop. I think you guys are being way too it's not mid. It's good. I'm not saying
Bro, mid. You know what mid is? Mid is the middle, not bad. Mid is mid.
Yeah.
I'm saying
middle.
I'm saying it's above average. I'm saying it's above average. I'm not going to say.
Alright, that's fine. You're not saying great.
I'm
That's fine.
I'm not taking it to a new.
Okay, so out of 10, what are you saying? Like 7?
I'm saying literally it's a 7.
Okay, that's fine.
That's all. Again,
Okay, you
that's
can
what I'm
say
saying.
that.
I'm not. You guys are calling it good.
I'm saying 5.
That's fine.
You guys
Okay.
are saying 5.
So our argument's not with you. It's with him.
That's
It's with
me too
him.
picking.
This man is saying 10.
Wait, you're saying wait.
He said 10. He said 10.
Wait, I don't
saying
care. I
You
don't
just
even
stand
give a
up.
damn. I don't give a damn right now.
You're
You don't
tripping.
think that end fight, the
It's a
fight
5.
itself,
Yes.
just the fighting,
Yeah.
is a 5.
It's a 5.
It's
Yes.
not.
It's a
I'll give it
5.
5, 6.
Wow.
Hate.
Yeah.
It's not.
Hey!
It's not hate.
Hate! I don't
It's
know
not
what to
hate.
call it.
Okay.
You can hate
Okay,
me
listen.
now.
I didn't say it was bad.
Listen.
5.
The fight itself, like the
What
importance
was
of
wrong with it?
what was good about
Hand to hand.
No, stop. No, wait. It's a 5. What was wrong with it? Compare it to another 5 that you've seen.
Let's talk about what's
what in the movie?
No. Like just in general. Like if you're grading it, you have obviously some sense of like what a 5 fight looks like. What are you judging it against? What are you judging it? What are you
My
judging
race
this
is
as
much
a
better
5
than yours.
against?
So stop it.
you got-
Out of all of us, you got the worst race.
Don't
Anyway,
ignore him.
anyway.
You know what he's gonna do? Ignore him. He's talking nonsense.
There's fights in Daredevil, Punisher. What are you
No,
making a face?
I'm waiting for Daredevil in Netflix, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking about, okay, what fights in Daredevil? Hallway scene, that's like, I'm talking about 1-to-1. Don't give me like 1 against 5 where they're not really going
Okay.
for real.
See,
Give me
we're
a
talking about
one-on-one
fight
fight.
scenes. You do one. If you're doing 1-to-1 fight,
That's
there's-
what I'm comparing it to. Like, that's the only fair way.
Okay.
That's the only fair way.
The Black Panther 2 one
Yeah.
on the bridge. What's her name?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I was thinking the
On the
T'Challa
bridge.
one.
On the bridge.
On the bridge.
With the
Oh,
Atlantis guy.
No.
Yeah.
Takuma.
What's her name?
Well, no, Akuma.
Okoye.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
See,
Okay.
see,
Fine.
that's a fight.
I like that's better than Winter Soldier.
No,
What?
I wouldn't
No.
say so. But
Oh my god.
No.
we've had
It's
this
not- it's not
conversation
that far.
anyway.
It's
Yeah.
not
It's
that
close.
far.
It's
Yeah,
close.
it's not that
There's
far.
no
There's no
closer
gulf
than this
between
one.
them. They're
It's not-
close.
it's not
Like,
there.
yeah.
It's not that
There's
far.
obviously
But that fight is good. That's a good choice. I agree
the
with
Black
that.
Panther one. With
The Okoye one.
no. I think
Oh.
even Civil War. I feel like the Black Panther one with Bucky,
Yeah.
and that was a short fight as well. So it's not even about the length. It's about
Yes. He's right. He's 100% right.
No.
100% right.
I hear you, but
100%
what
right.
you? I guess my question is, what is that fight rated at? Because I'm saying what is
Okay.
a 5?
Okay.
What's your rating for
What about
Black
stuff that
Panther?
isn't Marvel? What
I'm
about
giving
stuff that isn't
okay,
Marvel?
for me, that's the best Black Panther we ever get. Civil War. So for me, that's an
Fight-wise.
8. Yeah. Fight. Well, no. To be fair, T'Challa. That's the best T'Challa we'll see
The soldier in the embassy is an 8.
in the embassy.
Yeah, that's the fight with Bucky.
Yeah, it's very short ones.
Oh,
when
you're
he's
talking
chasing
about
them and
on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, when he's
that's hard.
up the stairs one.
Yeah.
Before he even has the suit.
Before he has the suit.
Yeah.
That's an 8.
Yeah, it's like a short interaction. What do you want?
Okay,
And he runs after him as well.
Can I ask
That's
you?
not 8.
Can I ask you some
Like
questions?
they were doing like this, but that's not 8. Bro.
Nah.
Stop it.
Okay, I don't.
Go back and
You
watch
you
it.
see Matrix? What do you think of the fight in the Matrix?
Well, just CGI was trash.
No, I'm not talking about the CGI. I'm talking about the fighting when they were doing hand to hand. What did you think of that?
They were just tossing each other around. That's not
What
really.
was you, okay, so what would you give that out of 10?
It's probably 4.
All right, say no more.
But
What do you mean?
go back
What do
to-
you give it up?
You keep focusing on this guy.
What
He's
you
the
giving
wrong
up?
Anthony.
What
He's
you
the
giving
wrong
up?
person to look at. Stop.
the
Ignore
right
him.
person to look at.
Ignore him.
No,
Stop
sir.
the nonsense.
Uh-huh.
Let's have a reasonable conversation.
Okay.
The Black
I mean, the
Panther-
fight's a 5.
Again, you're saying the one with Winter Soldier is 8.
Okay, so imagine Black Panther. They were having that fight, and then they turn around. Bucky's like, "Ooh," oh no,
Okay,
Bucky
okay,
Steve is
wait,
like, "Ooh,
Anthony.
yeah, get him."
What would you
That's
give?
not 8,
What would
bro.
you give Paul and is it Jamis? What would you give that fight
Yeah.
in Dune 1?
That what's that? What's that even a fight?
Stop it.
What do you mean?
That wasn't better than the one
it,
in the
bro.
second one. Let's not say
No.
Yeah, of
the
course,
one-
it wasn't better than.
Yeah.
than
Okay.
the
Cool.
first.
So what would you rate it then?
Yeah,
That's probably a 4th.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
But you see, that's not real rating because now you're just being stubborn.
Look at the ceiling.
And we were-
If you're objectively calling those two fights like a 3 and a 5, you're not objective. Like that's.
What do you mean?
That's fine.
That's
They can have their wrong
objective.
They can have their opinion. That's fine. That's fine.
wanna-
No
I
one's
just-
arguing they can't have their
I just want to
opinions.
comment that
Uh-huh.
I think it's an 8, the fight, but the reason why I think it is because when I was watching it, I didn't know who was going to win. I genuinely thought
Stop, everyone
when he got stabbed.
Stop
No.
What? Oh my days.
And that's exactly why the rating
Who got
is low.
stabbed?
It feels like I'm the only person here
Who got stabbed?
who's objective about
He got
this.
stabbed first.
Yeah, we know he got stabbed, but he was always
That's
going to
mad.
win.
He had the vision.
He was always gonna win.
He was
Yeah,
gonna-
he was
but
gonna win, bro.
I was
And
actually
that's why the
genuinely
rating's low,
scared.
because you know who's good.
No,
you know
I-
the
No,
outcome.
don't do
No,
that.
no, no, no,
Don't do that.
What do you mean
Because
don't do
that's
that?
any protagonist in every movie ever.
Yeah.
I was genuinely
Stop
scared
it.
for him.
Don't do that.
No, it's not.
Yeah, no,
Don't
you
do
can't
that.
lie.
No,
There's not many
that's
movies
to the
where
fight.
you feel
Yeah,
like
don't do
the
that.
No, it's not.
protagonist is gonna lose.
No, it's not.
Stop it. Anthony.
Unless it's an early
Bridge scene,
fight.
as you brought up.
Oh wait, unless it's an early fight, like an hour into the film, then you feel like because that's
Yeah, we're
genuinely
talking
what
about
happens.
like the
But,
main fight. Like
yeah,
this
if we
is
say
like
the main fight to
the
end the movie,
defining
'cause that-
fight of any
yeah.
like.
This is the
action
main.
I've seen.
It's you're giving it way too
When I
high
say
rate.
defining fight, it's like obviously it's a defining one because that's the end. This the
Nah,
main character.
this
is
fight was
defining
more
someone.
thematic than it was anything else. The fight, like, it's
Of course, again, you're talking like I'm agreeing with you here.
Uh-huh.
The only thing I'm disagreeing with you is
the
like
choreography of the
Too
fight.
low.
yeah,
you
the
think his
rating's
rating
too
is too
low.
low?
That's all I'm saying, and I'm not saying it's amazing.
The spin alone is
I'm not saying
It's
stop
just a
it.
spin, stop it.
It's a spin, bro. It's not amazing.
It's like a
Alright,
dead spin.
The spin versus
It's not even a capoeira spin.
Yeah, like the spin versus Black Panther's spin against Cap Shield. What would, like which one's better?
Against
In Civil War in the airport where he did the triple kick
Oh,
and he did the spin. 1, 2, 3.
yeah,
Remember what I'm talking
yeah.
about?
That was cool.
Yeah,
bro.
you remember what? How'd you compare? Like that's better than the spin we saw in Dune. So.
yeah.
No, it's
But
not.
again, he's talking nonsense. I'm just saying, let's be reasonable. Let's be reasonable. It's
I know,
not a
I know you don't
five.
think that Winter Soldier scene is 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, whatever, but I think
Winter
you
Soldier
lot,
scene
you
is
lot need to
amazing.
see more
It's
fight
amazing.
films in other films
It's amazing.
in order to kind of
I
sort
think
out this
people have
rating.
got, like,
Anthony's on the
people-
right step
the
with
people-
Daredevil
the
because
people-
that is levels fighting scenes. Like, that's levels in it. So I know he's not chatting shit.
Yeah.
I know he's not chatting shit.
Compare that
But
to like. Again, I'm talking one. I'm not like
Compare that to what, sorry?
I'm not comparing
what?
like hallway scenes and like set pieces. I'm talking about 1-to-1.
But you talk about choreography. What are you talking about?
yeah.
How you
I'm
gonna
on
talk
your
about
side,
choreography?
you know,
It's
you're-
not, it's not better than Winter Soldier. Is what I'm saying.
Daredevil's not better than Winter
No,
Soldier?
it can be.
It's not Winter
Yeah,
Soldier.
I could actually say that.
I don't know what
The
you're
knife
talking
work.
The fight-
You guys stupid.
The fighting in Daredevil.
The knife work in Winter Soldier.
I don't know what
Stop
you're
it.
talking about. I know what you're
My
talking
man's throwing a baton around and you're talking about like I'm two people going at it with knives like.
Bro, look at the cameras. Look at the cameras. It's cut. It's a face half the time.
And it's
You
all
don't even
dark
see
as
the
well.
action.
It's all dark as well.
man.
It's in
Nah,
broad
man,
daylight.
nah, man.
You're seeing this fight, everything. Stop. People are forgetting Winter Soldier and how sick that fight was. I think you don't need to go back and watch it.
Marvel hype over
Who's talking about? I just described to you a knife scene, daylight, elements that actually go into filming a proper fight.
If we're talking about thematically, that was the scene where it's like, okay,
Okay, stop
this
the
is the
thematic-
one.
stop the thematic thing.
This
All of
is
fights
the
are
one.
thematic.
No,
Stop
but I'm
it.
saying,
It's all in the movie.
but I'm saying, if we're talking about like in the scene of the film, yes, the fighting was cold because in regards to the Marvel universe, we had never really seen cold fighting. But if we're being real, the fighting in Shang-Chi was better than it. The first hour, it was better than it.
Fuck, man.
So let's not do that. Let's not do
You're
it.
tripping,
It
bro.
was. It was.
Wait, what is-
Oh, on the bus.
Just the fighting in
On
the
the
first
bus.
hour. In the first hour, the fighting that we saw, any fighting that we saw in
In
that
the
first,
bus.
listen to what I'm saying.
It's better than the
Any
Winter Soldier one.
fighting that we saw in that first hour is better than that Winter Soldier fight scene.
What?
I don't know about that.
Facts.
Okay, no, I wouldn't go that
Facts.
far.
Again,
Okay,
talking
I'm gonna.
nonsense.
No, I'm not.
I wouldn't go that
I'm being so
far.
real. I'm being so real. Simu is not like the greatest actor, but he can fucking fight. I'll be so real. He can
Oh
fight.
my God,
And that
man.
fight scene, I was like, oh.
he's
Alright,
tripping.
you guys are tripping. I don't care enough about this fight to even have like a major
I think
debate.
we're dwelling.
Let's get back to
We're dwelling too much on the fight.
Yeah, let's go back to like
I'm watching the
scenes.
fight.
You said favorite scene was the silence bit. What was it? I don't remember if you said yours.
Yeah, I said when he rides the worm for the first
Oh, okay,
time.
yeah, that
and
was sick.
What was the other one I said?
Rockets.
The rocket, like the missile thing when he rocket launches the flying thing with Zendaya. You know when they're hiding under the legs of that thing.
Oh yeah. Okay, fair enough. What about you, Sam?
There's three moments which are like top for me. First one is when they start gliding like in the air. When they go to
That's
that
a
thing.
top. That's a top scene.
That's
But that's
mad.
just a scene.
I mean,
yeah.
That in itself is like when I knew the tone of the movie would be.
Which
like,
glide do you prefer? That one or Josh Brolin's one when it was coming down? Because I like that better than the glide one.
they're
That
both
Josh
so
Brolin
similar,
one. After
like-
he just finished singing and he just like the way he just stepped down. Just
But you know what?
That was too sick.
About the one when they go up, it's like the body's dropping like that.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
they were
yeah.
getting sniped, that was mad.
Yeah.
The second moment for me was,
Wait, sorry. There's a part where I can't think of what the name is. The army is like walking through and they're just getting like taken out like one by one in the second one.
Yeah, that's when Raban goes to like confront Muad'Dib. Like,
Yeah, that's it.
and
Yeah,
then
I thought that bit was sick.
yeah,
like
yeah.
even like shot wise as well, because
Yeah.
you see one of the
Ninjas.
and they just disappear like
Yeah,
into the smoke
into
and
the
come
smoke,
out. Of,
yeah.
oh yeah, that was really good. Yeah,
was
I like
sick.
the
that.
second one was when they're doing all the ship, the battleship thing when they're destroying it with the rocket launchers. I really like that part with Zendaya and
yeah.
Timothy. But the clearest one to me is when he becomes Lisan al-Gaib.
Thank you.
That's like the most obvious one.
That don't matter.
Oh, which
Like that when he starts.
Lisan
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Bro, when he starts proclaiming.
I've
When
seen
he's
that
like-
scene a million times.
Bro.
Every time I have a tear in my eye and
Bro,
I'm screaming
I've
in my
watched it so many
apartment.
times, honestly.
I'm
Nah.
screaming in my apartment.
To be fair, I can't lie. When I first saw it, I was like, this man is just moving screechy. Like, why is he just bare?
No,
Nah, you're a hater, bro.
that-
Stop
I'm
it.
not even hating.
Your opinions right now.
That
are
to
just
me
like,
is
you're
when.
Nah.
You're hating.
That to me is when.
You're capital hating. I'm
No,
sorry.
sorry.
It's
No.
cool. Everyone has that movie where they
Anyway.
hate. That's fine. I just
No,
have
no,
to
no.
take you in
I
that
can't lie.
context
Yeah,
now.
this might be that movie for me as well.
Yeah,
'Cause it was like- it was just like-
that's
wow.
fine. That's fine.
'Cause he was
but
doing too much.
nobody
Like that scene, it didn't.
That was
it
one of the
didn't-
coldest
I
scenes
scenes
was
ever.
not-
Yeah, wait, do you know what? Yeah, maybe it's because I saw the movie as late as I did, but the scene didn't move me. Because like everyone everywhere
Nah.
is saying Lisan al-Gaib. I've
Wait,
seen
are
the
we
memes,
talking
Bro,
about-
is that-
everything like.
talking about actors and
It
how
didn't
someone
move
can
me.
transform. Paul from the first one and
To this
and
like
Paul
a-
at the
yeah.
end are not the same people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like from the time he takes that drink, you can see the switch, and it's not even
I'll
like
be
it's not
honest,
even
yeah,
it's
from
not,
then onwards,
and the
he
impressive
was good.
thing is what I find impressive is once he had that drink, it wasn't just someone just changed characters. You could see him building up to it as it was leading the Fremen, becoming part of them. He was slowly getting there, but once that drink hit, different man. And then he goes into that room, talks to them. He was like, that speech
Is this the scene where he goes
In that
in
dark
and
place.
he's going to like he has to talk as
Yeah, he was like, I'm pointing the
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. It's cold. It's cold. Oh my
Every time
god.
in my head, I hear that shit, and I'm like, I'm losing my shit.
Yeah.
you man are doing a bit too much. You
No,
man.
what?
I'll be very honest. Yeah.
It was no.
Die on
That-
You know what?
all of you are
Nah.
tripping.
That-
I'm tripping.
All of you are
Anubis. For me,
It wasn't moving
It
me
was a
like
good
that.
scene.
What?
It wasn't moving me like that.
Nah.
I'll be so honest.
you
Yeah.
didn't want to stand up and fight with him.
Nah.
No.
When he said that, everyone got up.
I know, right?
Let me be
That's the ultimate hype
you know what
moment.
it is, yeah?
Like,
I
I
felt
felt
like
make a statement at the end of this. Go on.
I felt like with Paul in the first one, I felt like his character, there wasn't much personality. There's not much about him. It's just for me anyway. It felt like he's just an actor that's there delivering the lines. And I don't know what
see
it was
what
about
you're
him.
saying, but I don't agree.
Yeah, like it felt very. I don't know how to describe it. It's very blank.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
very just.
It's a stoic
He's
character
like a
as well.
cold kind of, not the teenage angst like you said, but very just like
Stoic.
yeah, stoic. And I felt that throughout the whole of the first movie. The second movie, it was like kind of like what you were saying. It was coming in dribs and drabs where you're seeing more of him. But overall, I just felt like I could never shake the feeling of I just don't. Like I feel like there could have been someone better than him to play the role.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
wait, no. Before,
I can't explain why it is.
No.
He never sold me.
No.
Wait, can I finish?
Yeah, go on, you
He
finish.
never
One
sold
question
me
through.
on the character. Like I feel like the story was selling me on the character,
Interesting.
but him as the actor wasn't selling me on the character.
Right. Okay, and I have one question. Because I do not agree. However, there is an element of me that agrees, only because of the fact that the Lisan al-Gaib is a fake prophecy in it. So it's almost as if he's trying to buy into it himself in it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like, okay, yeah, when he was doing the thing when he went into the room and he was on smoke and he's like, I'll slap anyone here, blah blah blah, don't do anything. I was like, okay, he really believes it, innit? But there's a part of me that still thinks that, oh, he's still that guy from the first one who's a bit like, he don't really like he is actually playing the character.
Like
of
him as Paul is acting.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I feel slightly in it.
That's what's happening there.
Funny thing is,
Exactly.
Thank you. The funny thing is, you guys are exactly right in that he's acting the part because he knows he has to.
He doesn't.
yeah.
He himself doesn't believe
Well,
in
the whole
prophecy.
film is
Yeah.
about him not wanting to do it, but he realizes he has to. And
Exactly.
So he has to play it. Yeah.
But even beyond that, I'm talking about just to play the part of I have to be, because he was saying in the first one, I see billions of corpses across the galaxy, billions of people dying, all waving the name, like in my name or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't want that. He's trying to run away from that. In his mind, he sees that as the ultimate villain. Like I'm eliminating billions of people. But from that, the whole transformation process and him drinking this, he sees that as the only way to get revenge for his father, because his mother told him, your father didn't believe in revenge. He was like, I do. So A, he wants to do that, but B, he's taken on this Fremen part of him as well, because the thing to remember with the Fremen isn't just because they want to beat the Harkonnens. The other part that was, especially with Stilgar and the religious things, is he was going to change the face of Arrakis and bring back the trees, the water, and all of these things. Yeah. So it's not even just, I have to do this to get revenge for my father. It goes beyond that, because he now has to, because he's taken on this Fremen part of himself, he wants to then deliver this thing for them. And the only way he sees to do that is to play this part. Yeah. So there's that part of it which I agree with you, but I'm saying when you talk about someone else could have played it, I don't even think that would make, for me it would be bad, because you want someone who's unlikely. It's the whole Frodo thing, and the Hobbits, right? You would expect, okay, why not give it to one of the elves or whoever, but you want someone who doesn't necessarily look the part that you would go through this change, and it makes it even that more profound, because he has to take all this on.
I don't think it's I have no problem with him, the way that he looks. For me, I think a lot of it is his voice, the way.
Oh my god,
his voice changed.
It's the delivery of it. He just sounds very. He just sounds very generic American.
Long live the fighters.
Oh my god, bro! I can't remember.
He just sounds very, especially in the first one. He sounds very generic American.
What I'm thinking about his speech, I'm comparing it to M'Baku's speech at the challenge day, and which one is more epic? I'm giving it to Paul. Yeah. By the way, the other statement I was gonna make was that M'Baku's speech.
Which one?
When he was fighting Black Panther in the first movie, to challenge him. I know you want to hand the nation over to this prince who could not keep his own father.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Is that
no, I'm talking about in terms of
is that a great speech?
I was thinking, bro.
It was an epic speech. Stop it.
Just finish your point.
Anyway, yeah.
But this two movies, I am seriously considering.
Well, you better not say greatest trilogy or whatever. What are you saying? Oh my gosh.
Go on.
I don't know.
Speaking it, man.
Speak your truth.
Out here stuttering. Just go ahead. Go ahead, man.
You have to say it straight.
Go on, tell us it's better than
it's
Lord of
not.
the Rings.
Stop. It's not a trilogy. It's not a trilogy yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we still have to see the first thing. That's why I'm saying.
Make the statement, please.
Let me get there.
I don't care about build up.
It's my statement.
You act like Dune 1. Start.
Dune 1 was excellent. Dune 1 was excellent. It was a 9 out of 10.
Come on.
This, depending on how the third movie performs,
all dependent.
In my mind, well, of course it depends.
Yeah.
Just
let him go in it, man. Guys, let him speak. Alright, go, let's speak.
Okay,
you keep talking.
No more ad-libs.
In my opinion, if the third movie lands, I believe this has the potential to beat The Lord of the Rings as the best trilogy in fantasy ever.
Kick him out! Kick him out! Ever! Kick him out! Kick him out!
Take Frodo, I will take Lisan Gaib and I will smoke all of you, man.
You know what's funny, yeah? These man he wasn't even saying Timothée Chalamet was that good of an actor, a year and a half ago, and now he's creaming over him.
That's a stupid argument to make with me, because I told you I don't give a fuck about these actors. I don't know what you've done. I don't know how good of an actor you are. I'm looking at you in this role that you're supposed to sell me at, and I'm telling you, if they land this third movie, it's the best trilogy in fantasy, bar none. Okay. Lord of the Rings is second.
Whoa!
If you want to put a third, okay. I don't give a fuck.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm taking all.
Hey! No! You know you've lost. You've lost.
Lord of the Rings right now. Fucking Eagles. Let's go.
I'll destroy this film right now. I feel like you're being a bit too emotional over what you've just over. You know what's mad? This is recency bias.
Like a second-rate fight.
Who said that? Did I say second-rate fight?
He says,
I never said second-rate fight. I never said second-rate fight. I never said second-rate fight.
This fight was better.
Listen, this is how I know. Just because I say something is better than something else doesn't mean that I don't think that thing is good itself. This is why you Arsenal fans get upset about Saka. This is how you lot get upset.
Make your point, man.
I'm just saying.
Don't ad-lib. Make your point.
My point is that your point is crazy.
Okay.
Your point is absolutely crazy.
Okay.
And I mean, no, I'm just taking it. You said that I was taking Spice, and here we go.
Come on.
Here we go. Spice too.
You know what it is.
I'm ready to fight anyone.
That's great. That's fine.
And I love Lord of the Rings. No one here loves it more than I do.
Because you know what's mad.
No one here loves it more than I do.
You know what's mad? This is a great film. I'll be real. This is a great film.
Not that great.
But if we're being real, this whole film was just about, Paul is becoming the Muad'Dib. Paul is becoming that. And if we're gonna be real, that could have been done in an hour. It could have been done in an hour.
You want to say that The whole of Lord of the Rings
Bruv,
can be done in one day.
Don't do that.
Let's
Don't do that.
Go there. Let's
Don't
go.
do that.
The whole of Lord of the Rings can be done in 30 minutes.
But what's the feeling that you're getting when you're watching it?
What's the feeling when you're asking me what I get when I'm watching
Hey,
Dune?
I'm with these man. When I was doing the first one, sleep
When I'm
time.
watching Dune,
I'll be real. I love it, but I'll be real.
that's you, innit?
I'll be real though.
That's you,
I'll be
innit?
real.
That's you, innit?
Yeah,
Lord of the Rings
these
didn't
two
give me
movies
that.
didn't give me the feeling
Lord of the
that Lord of the Rings gave me
after
like,
Fellowship,
at any point.
After they left the Shire, and even
fine,
then in the Shire, it was smoky. So let's not do that.
No one's
Wait.
out here saying Lord of the Rings is bad.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna sit here and tell me this movie could be done in an hour, Lord of the Rings could be done in 5 minutes.
No, but I'm saying his
What's
betrayal.
the time going down
No,
each time I say that?
his
Because
betrayal.
Eagles could have ended this shit quick.
His betrayal.
You could do that for any show.
No,
You could
no,
do that for
no,
any
no,
show.
What Eagles?
You know what's
Wait, are
crazy?
you talking
You
about
watch all
Eagles?
these YouTube videos and you don't even know the
Are you
answer to that.
Wait, are you talking
These
about
times the
the
eye
Eagles?
is seeing everything in the sky. You don't think the eye is gonna clock the Eagles?
What's the answer to that?
What?
The Eagles not flying it.
No.
Wait, can I answer that? Can I answer
Okay, go
that?
on,
Can I answer that?
I would have seen
Wait,
them.
Take
wait,
over.
wait,
Let him
Precious,
answer. No, let him answer.
Precious, wait, 5 minutes, please don't interrupt me. First of all, the Eagles couldn't have got to the Mount Doom because the eye would have saw them. They would have been finished. They would have been shot. They're done.
And they just sent
Done.
out the Nazgul.
Done.
like,
Yeah,
at that
exactly.
point.
The
Yeah.
Nazgul. Done.
Okay.
Okay, please don't interrupt me.
They had
Second of
nine.
all, Anubis, the whole hour thing is complete. Like, if it was done in an hour, you would have said it was done too
No,
quickly.
no, no. You're
That
missing
change
my
would have been
point.
too
No,
quick.
you're missing my point.
That would have been a Daenerys.
No, you're missing my point. You're
Kind
missing
of
my point.
mad
You're missing my point.
change.
I'm saying the.
It was done perfectly.
No. But I'm saying that's
Him
but that's
becoming
the
more
point of the
evil
film.
was perfect.
But that's the point of the film.
You have to see- understand-
There's no. You see it in
Wait
trilogies.
for the 5 minutes so I can.
No. You see it in trilogies. Yeah, like most of the time, the trilogy is like, okay, it's the second part of what's happening. Like this is just like, oh, it's almost like an extension of the first one. That's why I'm like, what we're getting here. I get it's supposed to be, but the first film that we saw in Dune was just the whole 3 films in one, or whatever, how many books there were in one. So he could really do this however he wants. I'm just saying the fact that this whole film is just about that. We could have got him being like him turning into the muddy, whatever, and then we could have got a little bit of him actually being Paul Atreides before, as we're getting into the third one. That's what I can. That's what I'm saying.
I think the pacing.
Okay,
I think the pacing.
That's
is
what I'm
perfect.
saying. That's what I'm
So-
saying.
Let's go back to
I'm
the
not saying the
movie.
pacing is bad or wrong. I'm just saying for what we actually got, what the point of the film was. I'm like, let's not go overboard.
If you're
That's what I'm
saying that
saying.
as a point to rebuttal that Lord of the Rings is
no, I'm
potentially number two to
just
this-
saying if we're talking about what actually the point of this film was, it was quite clear. It's to show the change between Paul becoming the Lisan al-Gaib.
you're not saying it's a bad thing.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm like, it's not that gassy in order to be like, yeah, okay, this is the mad thing. It's not. The change is not that gassy because the change we can see.
Again, I
It.
disagree because the
The change
pacing
we can
is
see
perfect
it.
because otherwise you would have said it's
No,
too fast.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying it's not perfect.
This particular film was too long.
I'm not
No,
saying
it
it's
wasn't
not
because
perfect.
2 hours,
Otherwise,
45
you
minutes.
guys-
God
We could, no,
forbid.
we could.
Do you
Okay, to
understand?
Darren's
We're
point.
talking about a long film.
God
No,
forbid.
no,
God forbid.
I get what you're
Yeah, Lord of the
saying.
Rings, everything in there
But
was
I'm
great.
saying,
we had
I'm
to-
saying,
Everything in there was
No,
great.
but we had to see that he was with the Fremen and like gaining their trust,
Bruv, no,
learning
no,
the
no.
culture.
No, you
Tell
know.
me how this eagle
No,
would
no.
not have gone with
Bro,
it.
this first point just done your dance. Like, what are you
No,
talking
yeah,
about?
Because I'm waiting for the 5
No,
minutes. You told me to wait.
Okay,
No, no,
okay,
okay,
no,
no,
go on.
no,
Give him the
no.
mic. Give him the
No,
mic.
no,
Give him the
no,
mic.
let me finish
No,
with
no, no.
this.
He has to finish first.
Yeah,
Go
and
on.
I'll finish with this. It's because the author said that as well. Tolkien.
fuck would the author say?
Tolkien
That
said
did
that.
not need 5 minutes.
Give
Okay.
No, I just didn't want him to interrupt me because I wanted to rebuttal that point about the pacing. Because I don't think the pacing was done wrongly. It was done perfectly.
I didn't say it was pacing. I'm just saying.
It's
But
done
saying.
also, can I just say that you can't whittle things down like that because you can do it about every film. Every
No,
film
but
that's
I'm
ever
just-
existed.
okay, you lot
Every
missed the
story
point.
that's ever
You
You
existed.
lot are missing. Okay, you lot.
Yeah.
Okay, you lot missed the point.
Yeah.
I want to go down.
Okay,
No,
no,
because
okay.
in the Lord of the Rings point, the
I wanna
point
go
of
to
the Lord of the
hell.
Rings is getting from A to B.
No, because
I
in
wanna
Lord,
go to
no,
hell
because
with
in Lord,
that.
because in Lord of the Rings we got multiple storylines going on. We got bare things going on.
and
Yeah,
the-
Bare things going on.
Which technically,
Bare things going on.
technically is unnecessary considering the point that Frodo is
Maybe,
the only person who gets there
But we're enjoying
with
it. But
Sam.
we enjoy it at the same time.
Frodo and Sam leave together.
But
They
we-
end together.
but we
You just
enjoy
need
it,
them two. You
but-
don't need
but
the rest.
Do we not
really.
enjoy it at the same time?
Yeah, we did.
There we go.
No, but I'm saying though,
I'm not saying it's
you
pointless.
can whittle everything
I'm
down.
not saying it's pointless or anything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the fact that we've
You literally
stretched.
started your point with that.
No, I just said the fact that we've stretched Paul being from this point to this point, like the whole film. I
Again,
think.
you're talking
I
about
think.
stretching. Lord
I
of the Rings
think.
is the father of
Look, you
stretching
keep comparing it to Lord of the Rings without actually listening to what I'm saying. I'm
That's
just
what the
saying.
argument's about.
No, it's not. I'm just saying, like Paul's switch between him being that guy and him being another guy could have been done in less time.
and that's where you're wrong.
I don't think it's wrong. I don't think it's wrong because we've seen it.
Let me finish it
We've
with
seen
it.
Precious, because I know you're
That's
waiting.
what I'm
You've been
saying.
waiting 5 minutes.
How can you say that's
The
wrong?
reason why Dune cannot supersede Lord of the Rings is because Dune Part 1 probably lets it down. It's
I
too
think
slow.
this lets it down.
For sure.
Like, Lord of the Rings moves so quickly and the pace is so brilliant.
What happens in Fellowship of the Ring? Tell me, please.
They-
It literally smoke from the beginning to the end.
The first 20 minutes, Shire.
From Shire to the end. Like,
First 20 minutes,
honestly,
Shire.
it's
I'll
so
be
good.
honest, I'll
All
give you
that
that.
happens in the first movie is a meeting.
Don't do that.
No, you
Don't
get
do that.
the meeting. They go through.
Even the Nazgul was chasing him.
What's it called?
He didn't get
Moria.
stabbed. He got stabbed
Let's
by
keep-
Nazgul.
Yeah. Aragon.
It's the journey.
what's the
It's the
point of
journey.
that?
It's the journey.
What's the point of all of that?
To get to the Elven Land.
Build the relationships of the characters.
So that could have happened in 5 minutes.
Yeah, but you said
I mean,
about
this
any
is the
movie.
point of what I said.
I mean,
You can't break it down like that. You
As a
can't break it
group
down
of
like
people,
that.
you have to go through tribulations and go through trials and whatever to test
I'm
to
not-
to
again,
test yourselves.
The whole point of the film is
Yeah.
Paul becoming Lisan Al-Gaib. That's the whole point.
I understand all of that. Keep in mind,
could've
I'm
done that
going
an
to
hour.
hell with this point about like. the
Yeah,
whole
I mean,
thing.
there's no point in doing this because if
Yeah.
you're doing that, then both movies look terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
So like,
Okay,
you
so-
can both you can
so
accept
no
to
one-
both lose.
You're
missing
my point. You're missing my point.
But like, if you're gonna go for like movie for movie, like I would say, in terms of characters, you probably get a lot more from Lord of the Rings. In terms of world building, for the
What
first.
characters? Don't you?
no,
listen,
no,
but
don't
listen to-
interrupt.
No, listen.
Wait,
listen,
listen.
No,
I'm not
let me
trying
finish,
to
let me
rebut
finish, let me
you.
finish.
I will. I'm not
Okay.
trying to rebut you. All I'm saying is
Uh-huh.
when you're listing these points, I want to be specific. Tell me which character has more development, and I'll give you the characters on my end. Let's actually.
No.
go
I'm saying in
and
terms of
compare
characters, you have a lot more from. Okay, so there's like in terms of the main cast from Lord of the Rings, you get a lot more. There's Gandalf, there's Sam,
Yeah, in
there's-
terms of number of characters that are shown.
and then like it's like you're getting bits. The information you know about these characters a lot more than you know about the information about like the Fremen or like say you know about the Fremen as a collective. You don't know about like individual people like that. You know Stilgar. You know he's the leader, but you don't really know much about him in terms of background.
Okay, compare that to a character. In Lord of
same
the
with
Rings,
Duncan.
what we know.
Mary,
Because
Pippin,
What do you know about
Gandalf.
Mary?
They love breakfast.
Okay, that's one thing you know about it. Again, I'm taking your point.
Okay.
What do we know about the characters? Tell me.
You know about Legoland. You know about his history, his culture,
Legolas,
his
Legolas.
Legolas.
Again, in the context of the
But yeah, I think I mixed up.
Again, we're
As
talking about
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
movie, right? So
no. So, no, in terms, I say both movies. From the first two movies, you know,
what do we know about
from-
Legolas?
from where we
Again,
are
canon
now-
Movie, let's not bring in like book shit. Canon for the movies. What do we know about Legolas in the first?
I don't even read the books, to be fair. What we know about his inferiority complex with, we know about his relationship with the elves, or the dwarves, I mean, and his standing in the elves and what he's trying to obtain. We know about his friendship. We've seen that develop with, what's the main character called? Yeah.
Aragorn, yeah.
We obviously know about Aragorn, we know about Frodo, we know about...
How did we know about him and Aragorn?
What do you mean, how
I'm
do we know
gonna
about
pick
them?
this movie apart in front of you people because we never see the relationship with Legolas and Aragorn. The first time we see them together is when they all meet at River.
Wait, but you talk about
And
the
we
one
don't-
scene that Paul was talking about with his father. Like, what else do we know about the relationship apart from
no,
the conversation?
The point I'm
So you
saying.
can't be doing that.
No,
but-
I'm gonna do that because again, we're
No,
talking
no.
about building
Listen.
characters. You're saying Legolas and the relationship between Legolas and Aragorn. I'm asking you to define that relationship.
Again, I'm talking about
Because they
characters as a
don't-
collective. I'm talking about the number of characters we have from
I'm
Lord
not-
of the Rings.
I'm not arguing number of characters. Obviously, Lord of the Rings
No,
has
no, no.
a bunch of
Wait,
characters.
can we pause for a second? Because I feel like we're not prepared to do a Lord of the Rings
I am.
versus Dune.
I am.
One trilogy is not even done yet, and
But
we haven't even
talking
done a
about
Lord of the Rings
first
pod.
two.
Yeah, just do the
And I
first
made,
two.
I
yeah.
made a caveat.
But wait,
at
let
the start
let him
of this.
finish
I
his
made a
point.
caveat.
Keep
I
going,
said
keep going.
until the
Okay.
third one
Wait, let him
comes
finish
out.
his point and
So-
speak into the mic, please.
In terms of world building, we get a lot more from the first two movies in Lord of the Rings than we get from Dune 1 and Dune 2.
Okay.
In
And
terms
to be
of
fair, that's probably because of the prologue as well, in my opinion. But
what?
like
That's literally it.
the prologue of Lord of the Rings, that helps us because
That's literally
He's
it.
about the Hobbit.
No,
No,
Lord of the
as in
Rings.
like you know at the start where it shows the battle with Sauron and what happened with Isildur.
But
like,
again, that was the
yeah.
point I made about this movie, about how we needed it.
that's what I'm saying. No,
Well,
I'm
yeah.
backing you up.
Again,
Yeah.
So my point to that will be that's a subjective point because, like
not
you
a
said,
subjective
you
point.
didn't
It's
get
objective.
you
They
didn't
didn't
get
give
those
us
things. Well, again, you didn't get those
But
things.
they just didn't give us that. It's not about I didn't get it.
They did.
They didn't give us.
They did because I explained it earlier,
What
and
do you
I
explain?
like this is prior to me even like looking into anything
the
else.
world
But Lord of the Rings.
Yes, the world building of Dune.
Okay.
They gave us everything we needed to know about the story they're trying to tell.
Different. That's everything
How
we
is that
needed.
different?
Everything we needed to know is different from the world building in itself. Like what we need to know for the movie, sure.
Lord of the
Everything
Rings-
else will.
But that's
but in
Lord of the
terms
Rings
of-
does the exact same thing. Everything we need to know about that movie,
No,
those movies.
They build more in Lord of the Rings.
We didn't need to know that the dwarves had 7 rings because it doesn't come up in the films.
Yes, it does because they're talking about the Ring of
It
Power.
doesn't. Where do we find the 7 dwarf rings? Where do we find it?
But again, we're talking about the rings of power.
Why you thinking about that?
You're talking about one master ring that controls everything, right? That's what. Stop. That's what they're telling you.
story of the film is about.
They're telling you about the one ring of power. How many rings does that ring control? How many rings are there? So they lay all these things, right? These are questions. Whether or not we get to them in the movie, I think irrelevant. right? Talking about irrelevant information that we don't need. You're saying it yourselves. We don't go back to that. So what's the point of even saying it in the first one?
That's what I'm saying. But that's part of world building, though. World building isn't just we're just saying things and everything that we say. Everything we say is gonna come up. Sometimes it's just to give context on certain other things. It's that simple.
So if a movie gives me context for what I need and about this world and this story that it's trying to tell, that's not enough.
No, I'm just saying. No, he's saying that what we get in Lord of the Rings is much more and richer than what we got with Dune. We just got a tagline and a couple sentences.
But again,
simple. You can say that's fine.
And
that's okay.
I'm saying Dune does the exact same thing. Dune does the exact same thing because an example, and I won't pull it out my ass. One of the examples is what we see with the Spacing Guild, and they tell us that that's how space travel is accomplished. Like we don't see the Spacing Guild. We don't see like how they actually like go from A to B in terms of like there's the space and time travel. What's lying? So I can say the same thing about like the dwarf rings being a lie because we don't see it.
No, not a lie.
That's a stupid point.
A line.
Oh, a line. Oh, sorry, my bad. I thought you said lion. That's what, but again, seven rings about
also, doesn't the dwarf rings bit come first? It talks about all of the rings that got made, and then they made a ring of secrets. So it showed you that the rings in general are powerful and they're there for a reason. But then someone went behind their back and made one powerful ring.
I'm not disputing that point. His point was like, oh, they're telling us about the 7 rings. I'm saying they could have done the exact same thing and just ignored the number.
No, but it's to counteract him. Then is that the inclusion of the 7 dwarven rings is important up to a point. Yeah, it does.
But again,
I'm
not. I didn't see how you can argue that you get more world building.
I'm not saying it doesn't.
I'm not saying
it doesn't add to the world building. I'm saying the world building that they did in Dune 1 is exactly perfect and good, and it does what
for the film.
Not for the film, for the world. Because again, I'm not like I'm watching a movie. I'm immersed in the world. Like I'm not gonna if I'm comparing this movie. Okay, if I need answers for a test, like you're giving me all the answers I need for a test, fine. But I need to actually understand the subject it is I'm doing, and I think Dune does that. I understand this world before I even start. What's the whole point of me getting curious and wanting to like be immersed further in this world is because they gave me enough information to understand what's happening, but also to be interested beyond what happens in the movies. Because I can give you like storylines on. Quick
question, and I'm just gonna clarify this, and we can maybe end it there. So, do you think that Dune 1 and 2 has better world building than Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, and the Two Towers?
I wouldn't say better. I'd say it's the same.
It's the same.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
What was the rest of your point? Because you were going through the characters, obviously.
Yeah. So I mean, we know a lot more about the characters, and there's a multitude of them. Whereas, okay, well, I'd say you're wrong, but
wrong about a lot of things.
In terms of story progression, we have a lot more from the first 2 movies than we have from Dune 1 and Dune 2.
Story progression?
Yes, story progression.
All right, stop it.
What do you mean?
I mean, the first 2 Dune films only covered the first book, right? So I guess technically.
Like
to answer this question, and we'll get to Sang in a second. Hold on.
Like the progression in the Fellowship is they leave Shire, go to Rivendell, and then go to and they leave Rivendell to Moria. No, stop. We're talking about the actual story progression. Am I wrong in what I'm saying?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so the progression of that story is they leave the Shire, establish who the Fellowship are, and then they go out on the journey. Those are like 3-4 points. For Dune in the first one, the first thing we need to do is understand the conflict between the Harkonnens and the Atreides. Establish the relationship between.
That's not a point.
No.
That's background.
No. Story
which
progression.
Lord of the Rings does as well.
I just laid out what it does. I didn't say it didn't do it.
I know. I'm just saying.
The story progression is in terms of progression of the story. I need to know in the context of the story why the fuck the Atreides are going to thing in the first place.
But that's background information. What's progressing?
That's not background information.
That is background information.
How is that background information?
Because you're saying we need to understand what's moving forward.
Okay, quick.
Understanding. That's background.
Atreides leave Caladan and go to.
Okay, that's the point.
What's the story of Dune? Okay, you tell what's the story of Dune? What's the progression of it? What is the story? The first one.
The story of Dune is about like the downfall. So this is the thing, because you guys don't want me to go into. It's the downfall of selecting heroes and following them blindly. That's the ultimate arc of Dune.
No, is that the first one? Is that what happened in the first one? What's the first?
No, the first story of Dune is a story about revenge. Okay, what are you asking me?
Revenge from who?
Revenge
with the Harkonnens and Paul.
Yeah.
And like them
the
killing
first movie.
That's when they killed his family in the first movie. What are you talking about?
Revenge. That's consolidation of power.
That's the revenge has to come after that, isn't it? Like, The Harkonnens clapped him. The second film was about
you could say he got the revenge in the second one.
Yeah, the second one is
No,
revenge.
yeah,
So what's the
but
first
it's
one
but the first one is about like why he needs the revenge. Like why
So what is it about?
the first that's what it's about. Like Paul Atreides
You
and
can't go, oh, we're going to make the second film to be like, oh, he has to get his revenge. What is the first one about?
The first one is about the Emperor consolidating his power.
it's not.
It is literally.
The first one's about telling us basically what the significance of this planet is, what Paul's significance to it is, and now he's got a motivation to do something on the planet.
It's not the motivation.
vengeance.
Like that's what I'm saying. That feeds into the whole
Yeah.
revenge thing as well. I'm saying as well.
But
motivation.
Because what you're saying. What did you say at first? Sorry.
um,
Who Paul is? Find out who Paul is. We find that out within the first
Yeah.
like.
no, but then what he is to Arrakis, like to the Fremen and stuff, innit?
Yeah.
But at first, we have to care about who he is to the Atreides.
And that's what the first movie is about, really.
What do you mean?
And then the second
we have to care
movie,
about who he is to the trade.
and the second movie is about his importance as a symbol to the Fremen, and then afterwards, obviously, it's pretty much the first two movies is a development of Paul into
Because the
the
story
heroic
revolves around him.
exactly.
We're talking
But
about
from
two-
when I talked, my question was about the progression. What we've got so far. The first one was First one's a story about. It's pretty much an introduction. Well, no, it's not even an origin story because it's not even that. The first two movies become like one origin story,
Thank you.
and that could have been. I can understand why you said that could be done in one movie. Obviously, I feel like the pacing and everything was
It
done
won't be done in
properly.
all, man.
I didn't say it could be done in one movie, but I'm just saying.
You said it could have been done in 1 hour.
It took 2 hours for this film is mad.
But like the first two movies could be combined into one origin story, and then after that, okay, fair enough.
But again, this is my point. The whole point of me saying, I think this again, pending that they land the last one, the next one, whatever it is, I think that's a better trilogy than Lord of the Rings one. Is because again, the story that they're trying to tell are different stories. So I don't expect the story beats and all these things to like go like hand in hand or be the same. One of them you mentioned has more characters involved. So they have to give you more about those people just by virtue of them being there.
And because of the race of these characters is why the world is getting built.
No, again, so different characters. That has to be a part of it. That has to be a part of it because of the number of people that are in there. With Dune, it's a much more focused. Trilogy. So your points about like I'm not going to argue with you about how many characters are in there, how many other perspectives do we get for what's going on ultimately. Of course, you get more in Lord of the Rings because they're more characters. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying the way they portray the story they want to tell in the three movies, again, pending the last one makes sense and works, I think is better based on the first two movies because I'm comparing how they've told their story to how the first two movies up to the Two Towers told theirs in terms of the story beats, the significance of certain characters, the point of them, what they had to do, the emotions they gave me as they were going through all of that.
Okay, I mean, I'm hearing what you're saying, but I think the reason why I say you're wrong is because you're arguing a subjective point as if it's subjective. Like you can have your
literally every single thing we're doing in here can be subjective, and that's the end of it.
Why do you have so much of him? Like that could be your point, and that's fine.
No,
we can have our own point, but why you talking
because
about
it's an entertainment podcast. That's what we're doing this for.
Yeah, but like you're not changing our minds.
I'm not trying to change your minds.
That's exactly what you're doing.
No.
That's
What
exactly
did
what
I
you're
say? While I was being animated and all of that, I said I'm
you're
ready to
acting like
fight
it's
and I'm ready
facts.
to die on this hill.
But you act like it's facts. But it's not facts.
You just said I'm not going to change any of your minds. Like I'm not trying to. Like the fuck, I know you people way too well. If I'm trying to change your minds, I'm going to fail.
No, but I think
I'm just going to fight my corner. Is all I'm saying.
You know what the thing
I
is?
haven't said anything different.
No, the thing is that you're explaining points where it's like you're explaining points where we're not even talking about that. You're talking about like it's the same story beats and blah blah blah, like things that are going to be different.
Same story beats.
No, you're saying the fact that you're not expecting them to be the same. And it's like yes, obviously, and what you're talking about, what you like about Dune, and what you don't like, why you like it over Lord of the Rings is different to what we're actually talking about. You're just saying you like the way the story is told in Dune before over the way the story is told in Lord of the Rings. Yes, the first two films.
Trilogy, the way it portrays the story. Yeah.
The story, yeah. And
All of this is to me.
yes, that's fine. We were initially
Making that point, that's a stupid point to make.
wait. But we were initially talking about world building, and you
We're
said
bringing objective points to you.
you said
I think-
Dune had an equal, if not better, world building than Lord of the Rings, and that's
Which is-
fine. That's a point you can die on. That's a point you can die on.
Again, I said all that is pending the third movie because the third movie.
I don't care what happens in the third.
Of course it has to.
Because you know what can happen in the third? He's gonna go around to all these other worlds and start blowing people up, and then we're gonna see what's going on.
And seeing those other worlds is not part of the world building
Why can we not see that in the first 2 films?
because it's not relevant to these. It's not relevant to these 2 films. We don't need it.
I
Obviously, we don't need
mean,
it
I'm
because
just saying. I hear you.
No, you're talking like
No. I hear. No. But I'm hear you.
This is not the
I hear
the third movie.
you. No.
Anything you're saying outside of this is not.
No. Because you know what? You can't starve me the first 2 films and then try to give me something in the third one and think I'm gonna be cool. Nah, that's not how it works. Lord of the Rings, I was fulfilled each film. Fellowship, oh, I'm full. Second one, oh, yeah, give me more. Third one, oh, yeah, give me more. Hobbit came out, I was like, all right,
you weren't,
allow
because
it,
you're
allow
cool,
it, allow
you
it.
don't need to watch the third one.
Huh?
Because of what?
What? That makes no
Nah,
sense.
that's not true.
this is-
That's not
see,
true.
and that's
You
an example.
don't don't stop at the second film of a trilogy and say I don't need to watch anymore.
This
No
ain't-
one
this
has
ain't
ever done
Matrix
that.
Revolutions.
So what I said about let's see what the third Dune does is not
Yeah.
because I did say that.
No,
No,
but I also
we can only
just said,
compare 2 movies for 2 movies because there isn't a third thingy one, so it doesn't make sense.
Again, like,
and I said it doesn't matter what the third one does.
Part of what I'm saying is, again, it's a caveat. I said
Yeah.
pending this being the case,
Yeah.
this is my argument. If
Yeah.
obviously the third one then comes out as shit,
Yeah.
how come I didn't say shit?
No, but I'm saying if we're going band for band, number 1 and 2 against number 1 and 2, then
But that's not what
that's
he's
the
talking
conversation.
What?
Yeah, he did. He did
he's
slightly change it.
going, the 3
Yeah.
the 3 movies and whatnot. I'm saying, okay, I hear you about like if you're comparing because you almost can't separate.
2 movies, so let's not get that fucked up at the moment.
You said the world building they gave me in the first one was nice. Satisfied me was your word, right? The second one satisfied you. Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
That satisfied you. And then the third one satisfied you. And I'm saying if the world building, like, okay, what world building did they do in...
Dune?
No. In
Two
Lord of the
Towers.
Rings in the third one? What world building? That was Return of the King.
We got closer into...
What? That was the
You get closer to Mount Doom. Well, you get to Mount Doom, so all of the parts from there.
The Ride of Rohirrim.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Minas Tirith.
This is crazy.
I'm
Yeah, this is
not, I
crazy.
wasn't
This is
making.
crazy.
I'm not making the point that there's no world building. I'm saying there's still parts of the world that we
Left to
explore
go,
in the
yeah.
third one,
Yeah.
which is what I'm saying about
Yeah.
the third
You're
Dune.
missing the point.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go in circle, but this is my last point.
But his point was that the crux of the world building, or let's say 80% of the world building, shouldn't come in the third movie. It should come in the first 2.
I don't care when it comes. I'm judging the trilogy.
Yeah.
Is what I
and
said.
that's
I
and
said
that's
the
fine.
trilogy
The trilogy,
will be better
and you
when
can
it comes
judge,
out.
and you can judge the
This is
trilogy.
better.
Can I make
You
a
can
comment?
judge the
Can I make a
trilogy. Go on.
comment? Didn't you just say that if the world building is that good, why did we need to watch the third movie? You said something like that, right?
Because he was saying something about
He was
after the first
satisfied,
one,
yeah.
I was satisfied. I was like, if you're satisfied, why do you need more? Because obviously there's
So,
still more.
Are you satisfied with Dune's world building?
Not completely,
this
no,
point?
because there's a third movie out there that I know is coming that expands more on things, and I want to see that.
Okay, so from the first 2 movies, you're not satisfied with the world building in Dune. I just want to confirm that.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so
I mean,
so
the question I literally asked was which one had better world building in the first 2 movies.
I wasn't satisfied with the 2 towers at that point when that happened.
Okay, which
Until
one?
the third one
Which one
came
built the world more though?
I think
That's a
Dune.
Dune.
You're lying.
you know
You're a
what's
liar.
crazy? He's gonna die on this point, and then 3 months later he's gonna be like, you know what, boys?
Hey guys, see, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because don't do that because someone being objective and being like,
You're not
okay, you
being
guys are right.
objective,
You're not
though.
saying that it's
You're
a
being
bad
biased.
thing. Because I'm not gonna turn into Anubis and just like down a stupid hill. If again, I said it at the third one. If
It was
comes out,
literally
that's
part
bad.
of one point. Like
But
if you said, "Oh yeah," like the Lord of the Rings, we won't be like, "Oh yeah, you lost."
Quick question. Better than Captain America trilogy?
Obviously.
It's
With the Great Winter Soldier in it.
Yeah, Winter Soldier's great, but what happened in the first Avengers? How good is that?
What, Captain America First Avenger?
Yeah, how good is that? Okay. Dune is better than that.
Okay.
Dune 1 is better than that.
Getting back to let's get back to Dune.
You want to compare
We've only
visuals
got 5 minutes
to
left
Captain
actually.
America? Stop it.
yeah.
Okay, I want to go as far as saying like comparing it to Lord of the Rings, but what I would say about Dune is, to me, wait,
Yes, it is.
To me-
what are you talking about?
I would say, was it even Planet
To
of Planet
me-
of the Apes?
What's good about the Spider Verse?
I say Planet of the Apes as well.
Let's be real.
Homecoming.
no, Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
Into
the
Spider-
animated
Oh,
one.
with the
Animated.
animation. Sorry, I'm thinking of
Okay,
MCU.
let me start again. Okay, for me, Dune does not compare to Lord of the Rings, but
No.
for me, I think it's this generation's, and please take this with a grain of salt because I'm talking about the sci-fi aspect of it.
Uh-huh.
It to me is this generation's Star Wars.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god!
No, this generation Star Wars. In the last 10 to 20 years, in the last 10 to 20 years, we haven't got anything close to Star Wars, in my opinion.
But to be fair, Star Wars still a lot.
But Dune is right there up with it.
I will say Dune is probably the only other big sci-fi thing like that. But let's not act like there aren't other things out there that have done this. And
Tell me.
I mean, Avatar did a thing. Let's be real. Whether you like it or not, it did a thing. And the second one, if we're talking about world building and all this sci-fi things,
There's only two, isn't there?
It's going to be a
It's
trilogy.
gonna be a third
Oh, it's
one.
going to be. Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't watched any of them. So
Really?
That's like a white
Yeah.
savior film as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, all of them are. Well, most of them are white savior films. We could really do the whole trilogy talk properly, but I feel like one, I feel that is recency bias. Two, I feel like a lot of people need to watch a lot more sci-fi films outside of Marvel things and outside of like shit like that. How can don't even man said Lord of the Rings world building on two worlds. Like what? Allow it. Allow it. Man said, oh yeah, different angles of the spice. Like, what is this? Don't do that. Don't make me go this. I'm so sorry. Don't do that. How many realms? Okay, we're in the Elven. Okay, let's start at the beginning. The Shire. The Shire.
A great thing in the West.
The Shire.
Oh, the elves are supposed to be
Okay,
immortal,
so we're in the
but,
Shire.
still
We
there.
go to the Elven lands. We go to the
The
tavern.
We go to the Cave of the Dwarves. We go to the Cave of the Dwarves.
Tavern. The tavern.
Cave. Are we not building a world?
It's world building. Yeah.
There we go.
A world of caves.
It's
It's
world
not,
building.
it's not a cave in a world.
And
A world of caves.
I said a world
I'm
of caves.
dealing with
That's one cave I said.
I'm dealing with Interstellar.
We can be
I'll
reductionist.
take that over
I mean,
a bunch of shit.
you can take your two planets. You
I mean,
can
to
take
be
your two
fair, they go
planets.
to like what outside of Arrakis, you see maybe one place on another world. It's,
No, in Caladan you see Gaidi Prime.
where
And where else?
Where the army
Gaidi
is.
Prime is the Harkonnens planet.
Harkonnen.
No, but I'm saying you see one place on those worlds. It's not like you're seeing multiple places
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Gaidi
yeah.
Prime. You're not seeing multiple places on
That's the
the.
second point as
In
well.
the Shire, how many houses do we go to?
There.
No, but I'm saying you said the world thing.
No.
You-
Name bare
We
houses.
go to Frodo's house. We go to is it Frodo?
Bilbo's house is the same.
Bilbo's house.
It's the same.
Yeah, it's the same house.
But we see everyone else in the village.
Wait, I don't think- wait.
So we already see the architecture. Why do I need to go to someone else's house? Why do I need to see their rooms?
No,
I
but
don't
my
see-
point was you said.
Stupid argument that
My
this
point
guy-
was
because
you
we
said
get the
this is
community
all
of
on
the
the same
Shire.
world, and I'm saying yeah, that's
you're
fair.
saying the same planet.
No,
That-
yeah, it's all on the same world. All of these
Yeah,
places
the
is all
same-
in the same
same
world.
planet, yeah.
But your point is that they go to multiple worlds. But I'm saying on those multiple worlds, you go to one place on each world. It's not like they're going to London and Manchester and Leeds in these worlds. Yeah.
Single ticket.
In the one planet that you're in,
Yeah.
you're going. He's saying we're going to all these different locations.
Yeah, but you
right?
do,
But again,
yeah.
In the one locations that you're in,
Yeah.
you're only in one place.
Yeah, you're on one
Thank
planet.
you.
Yeah.
So if you're in one planet,
Yeah.
you're mostly one place. So we're doing the same thing,
Yeah.
except
No, we're
mine
not
is
doing
over
the same
planets.
thing.
This
Yeah.
is one planet.
No, but-
I'm not even saying
Yeah.
one is better than the other. I didn't say
No.
that. He's
No,
the one
but
making
his
that
is
point.
multiple places on the one planet. Yours, like Dune, is one place in multiple planets.
Yeah.
And it's not even that, by the way. Because in Arrakis, for example, we go to Siege Tabar. We go to the southern region of Arrakis.
Yeah, that's
where there's other
fine.
people's
Yeah,
houses.
that's fine.
And
what does it look like?
What's his point?
What does it look
No,
like?
but no-
The same shit.
Yeah, but you should
They're
be.
in a desert planet. What the fuck
Yeah.
are you talking about?
Whose fault is that?
You shouldn't be going planet
That's
for
not
planet
anyone's
because
fault.
there's
That's
one
the
planet
world.
on
Now
like.
I'm making stupid arguments. This is why I can't have a conversation with this brother.
Yeah.
Fucking end the podcast, bro. I'm starting to get pissed off now.
It's
because
not.
man's just
He's
talking
getting
nonsense.
upset at the fact that okay, you've got sand. Okay, you've got sand in the planet. Cool.
See, like, I'm not gonna engage.
Let's okay. And if we're gonna be so real, the only places where we actually got difference of it was when he went into the Sieges. When he was talking to them, when we were doing the whole water of life stuff, that was cool. That was a different little kind of thing. But we go back there when Paul is fucked up and the Desert Spring Tears has to happen. We kind of go back to a lot of these places, so we're not getting bare different places on Arrakis like that.
And to be fair, it took 2 movies to do that.
Thank you.
Wait. So I know it's obviously different. It's a show, but like, let's say, in terms of like world building, something like Game of Thrones, where it only stays on one planet, would you say, frame that that world then in comparison to the conversation of Dune and Lord of the Rings?
Oh, Game of Thrones is got, obviously we're exploring more locations and smaller
Yeah.
details because it's a show. It has to.
Yeah,
So,
but Lord of the Rings goes to multiple locations as well.
It goes to multiple locations. So,
Yeah.
okay,
It's all on the same world,
This
but
is the thing with multiple locations, and what I was saying about like, what Anthony said about like the different characters that you have.
yeah.
You have to have those amounts of things based on the number of characters you have, because all these people come from different places. That's
Yeah.
the kind of story you're trying to tell. I'm not trying to frame this as like, oh, because you have locations, a bad thing. You can give me like a complete world within about one room and tell a great story there. And give me a
No, but it's
trilogy
not
about
world
that.
building then.
Wait, do they go to Rivendell to? Did they have to go to Rivendell?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
They
when
have to,
House of
yeah.
Elrond happens.
No,
No,
I just feel like we're missing
No, the reason why I asked
key
this-
understanding of what world building is.
It's because I swear they didn't plan to go to Rivendell at all.
Yes, they did.
I thought it was because
matter.
I thought it was because
They
Frodo
did,
got stabbed.
No,
It
they
doesn't
did.
matter.
They had to go to Rivendell.
Why did they have to go to Rivendell?
Oh no, I think he might be right. You know,
Because I thought he got stabbed by the
because he gets
Nazgul.
stabbed, they take him there, and then they
had to
call
take him to
they call the
get
council.
treated, right?
No,
Think it was gonna.
They go-
Gandalf was
Yeah, Gandalf was gonna take them there.
Elrond called a meeting
because that's where they need
discuss
to.
what they
Yeah,
do.
that's where they need to meet. Because remember, they go to the pub place in it to meet Aragorn first, and then they need to go to
They had to-
Rivendell.
they
Yeah,
had to go to Rivendell to- they
yeah.
just had to
But
go
also,
to-
your world building point about the room thing that's different based on the fact that, let's say, depending on what the film is, if it's based on one room, if it's based on real life, we don't need to build
So,
the world
you
because
guys have
it's
seen The Hateful Eight. You've seen The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
What's
Is that the
world
one
building
with
Samuel-
like building the world is important
no,
in
no,
fantasy and sci-fi and
So
stuff.
You've seen The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
What's the world building in that? And is that not a great film?
That is a great film.
Okay. What's
But
the world
it
building in
because
that?
it plays like a play. It
What's
plays
the
like a
world building
play.
in that? Is the question I'm asking you.
Well, we
No.
get a lot of historical stuff in it.
What's the world? See.
Well, it's
I'm talking
in
location.
one house.
I'm talking
Yeah.
It's
location.
in one
I'm not
house.
talking
It's in
about
one
world
house.
history.
One
It's in
house.
One house. Thank
One
you.
house.
And that's the story that needed to be told. It took place in one fucking.
But
location.
then I wouldn't say, oh, it's got better world building than Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, true.
That's all I'm saying.
But
That's the
again,
simple point.
If you're comparing,
I'm not talking about the quality of world building.
in terms of what do I know about this world that these characters exist in.
That's fine.
And
That's
I-
good.
and I-
World.
and
That's
I
good.
know
That's
that
good.
in
That's
the
good.
context of the story that's being told.
We're not
That's
disputing that.
That's it. That's okay. So I'm telling you how I define like what world building is and how I rate it. What world do these characters live in, and how does that affect like the story that's being told? As long as that gets satisfied for me, that's cool. That's great. You can give me extra information. Like Game of Thrones or whatever, I can start telling you stuff about Ashai. That's completely irrelevant to anything.
World building is about
But it's like,
developing.
okay, I don't need that. Like you can add some shit, but that's cool.
But it is actually, okay, if we're going by the definition, okay, this might be Wikipedia, but whatever. It's the process of constructing an imaginary world or setting, sometimes associated with a fictional universe. Developing the world with coherent qualities such as a history, geography, culture, and ecology is a key task for many science fiction or fantasy writers. There we go. And if one has more than the other, we can say that one has more world building than the other. You can go into what one is better.
I think
It depends if one needs more. If
That's-
I'm only
that-
dealing with, because
that
again,
is-
the thing you just no. Let's go with the definition you just read out. What are the requirements again? History. What else was there?
History, ecology, culture, and geography.
Thank you. We have all of that in Dune, and we have all of that in Lord of the Rings, obviously.
But what do we have more of? Which one has more?
Lord of the Rings has to have more.
It's
because
a
it
very
has more
simple
people.
question.
Exactly.
It's- it's-
You're saying it has to have, but it's not
This
about
is
whether-
not. This is not such a.
Okay, Lord of the Rings has more.
Okay, that's fine.
End it.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
But why we keep going over the same
Nobody said
point?
that.
You keep
It's
making
not
a
me.
stupid point.
It's not me.
You get-
It's not me.
you're getting triggered by Anubis.
It's not me. It's definitely not me.
Alright, Anubis.
It's not
Okay.
me.
Next line of questions.
Let's
please.
let's move on.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's not me.
Okay.
I'm
Let's
saying,
just move on.
Let's just know what we're talking about. We're talking about world building in it, and then let's not bring Lord of the Rings into this as probably one of the best films in world building to be like, oh yeah, Dune, first two films.
You feel like you've established yourself.
No, I'm just saying, Lord of the Rings. I'm just saying.
No,
We
no,
should
okay,
see.
no,
We should know what I'm
okay,
saying
you guys-
before we say it. That's
okay.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Next-
saying.
next set of
Let's know
questions.
what we're saying
Okay.
before we say
Please,
it.
please.
Next line of questioning.
Okay,
Alright,
cool.
go.
Let's do
Let's
that.
take that
Okay.
I'm just saying.
All right,
Let's
come
know
on,
what
come
we're
on,
talking
come
about.
on,
Let's
come on.
talk
Move
about
on, move on,
Okay,
move
that's
on,
how-
move on.
Let's talk
That's
about.
how I feel when Anubis like goes on about Arsenal. Like he gets me so
And I'm
triggered.
right then as
Let's
well.
not-
And
let's
I'm
not
right
start
then
with
as
that.
well. And I'm right then as well.
Okay.
I'm right then as well.
Okay,
Have
please.
conversations for anyway.
Okay.
I'm right
Go
then as
ahead.
well.
Go ahead. Go
He
ahead.
gets me so heated.
Go ahead.
Right. So where were we?
Oh my gosh.
Someone talked about Rebecca Ferguson, her being the mother. What do we think of her? And what do we think of the Reverend Mother?
Reverend Mother.
And what do we think? And what do we actually think about that whole baby situation? What the fuck's going on with that?
I don't care about. I mean, to be fair,
That was quite cool. I thought that was quite cool.
Anya Taylor-Joy is she's a great actress, but I mean the whole. I mean, to be fair,
Oh, the daughter.
yeah, the whole
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. I
I'm
know
gonna
she's
be
in the next
at
one.
this riverside
Yeah, that's
talking
mad.
to my brother. I'm like, oh, you know what, fair. If you could see all possibilities, but then, like, surely I guess going forward, sure you can't lose. Like, how are you gonna? I mean, I guess the only way I can see it is when he gets killed by, I guess, is it Shane? What's her name?
Johnny.
Yeah, but like I'm guessing when he does that, because I'm in my head, what's gonna happen is it's gonna be like the whole Aaron Yeager thing, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna make everyone hate me. I'm gonna like make prosperity for whoever the place I'm controlling, and then I'm gonna need someone to come and kill me, and then peace to the world. So that's what I'm thinking is gonna happen. So like, because for me, I'm like, if you can see everything, because for me it's like if you can see all paths, like you shouldn't lose really. Unless you let it happen, which is what happened with Aaron, and I'm guessing what's going to happen with him. He's going to let himself get killed.
But don't we know by now that like the future is always changing? So it's like even if you do know
but
the
he
future,
can see every future.
Yeah, but it's like.
But then I guess
where were we going? The question was the water and the baby, right? How does this relate to what you're saying?
no, because like the only reason he can speak to the baby is because he can see everything now. So like if you can like communicate with the baby, like or his sister. Actually, I don't know what power she has.
No, because they're kind of Bene Gesserit, in it.
It all goes back to the water of life.
But he couldn't speak to her before, though. Yeah, exactly. But like
No,
because
it's
he
the water,
became
because like he could speak to her before he even
could he?
Yeah. At the start of the second one, he was saying, "I'm sorry, I don't think I have enough time to make this right before you come into the world." He was saying it to her.
Okay.
But again, whether or not she speaks back at that point, I'm not sure. Because once Jessica drinks the water of life, the baby then becomes conscious because...
Is that the mum's name, Jessica?
Not Jessica, Rebecca, sorry.
Oh,
Rebecca
okay.
Ferguson.
No.
Jessica,
Okay.
yeah. I was even... Got me all fucking... Yeah, so Jessica was... she takes the water of life.
Yeah.
She now has the memories of all the previous Bene Gesserit that have been in Arrakis. The baby also has that because it showed you the baby's eyes open. The baby, like...
Okay.
Yeah, as an embryo, she now has consciousness, which feeds into some later shit. But like the whole idea is she's a conscious sort
She
of
drank that in the second
embryo,
film,
if
though.
you like. Huh?
She drank that in the second film.
She drank that. Yeah, she drank that. Jessica drank it in the second film.
Wait, so when did...
She drank it in the second.
You said in the first film he was already speaking to his sister.
Yeah, he was. So at the start of the first film, he was speaking to his sister. They don't confirm whether she understands or speaks back.
Wait, what?
No, what?
At the start of the second film.
Second film.
Yeah, at the start
Okay.
of the second film, Paul is talking to... This is before he drinks the water.
Mhm.
Paul is talking to his sister.
And that's before the
Before
mum
the mum
drinks
drinks the thing. Exactly.
Okay.
But they don't... I'm saying they don't confirm whether or not...
Do we know if that's
the
current
sister-
Paul, though? Do we know if that's current Paul?
Yeah, that was Paul at that time when he was speaking to her. Because this is when they showed him waking up. This is when they were on their way to Siege Tabar. To the Fremen's location.
Fair.
So this is literally the first thing we see of Paul. Is him saying, "I'm sorry, little sister. I don't think I'll have enough time to get the revenge before you."
Oh
come
no,
back into the
I think
world."
he's just speaking to her as someone
Yeah, so
speaking
that's
to a
what I'm
baby.
saying. I'm saying so like they don't. There's no confirmation that it's a direct sort of like two-way communication.
Oh no, I don't think it is.
But she definitely does once she drinks the water.
Yeah, that's
The sister,
different.
yeah, the sister can talk, but she gets consciousness. I was trying to explain the law between her and the powers that she has, why she even appears in Paul's vision.
Yeah, I
way
can
she
understand
does.
she's got those powers after.
Yeah.
I think him speaking to her before, I think that was a completely different version of him.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, he hasn't had the Lisan Gaib
Yeah,
powers yet.
fair.
So, but even though at that point he could still see visions, they just weren't clear.
Yeah, I don't think he's seen her at that point though.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But so the water thing is part of the whole law thing where because she now has consciousness, she can communicate with her mother more directly and Paul.
But why can she speak to him?
Why could
she? Yeah, why can she speak to him?
Because she now has they share this. They're on like the same consciousnness stream.
Even in the future.
No, remember in the first film. Remember in the first one we see that Paul can speak to his mum with psychically in it.
Okay, that makes sense then. Because I was thinking if you can see all future versions of people and speak to them, like okay, like surely you can't lose.
Yeah, you're
that makes sense.
You're making it way too
betrays her.
complicated. Yeah,
No, that's what I'm trying to understand. I was thinking
that's
like
way too complicated.
Okay, makes sense. Now.
But going back to the original question about what we think of the mother, Jessica.
Yeah, and I was going to bring back to that scene as well with the water of life.
You're just asking about her as a character.
Yeah.
Like I personally didn't really understand her motivations in part one. Like, is she just trying to protect her son? Is that all it is, or is it?
She wants power.
She was trying to create
Okay, if that's the case, then she's doing a great job because
of course.
in part two, she becomes the Reverend Mother for the Fremen.
Yeah.
And then she picks off the Fremen by going for the weaker ones. That's what she said, right?
Yeah,
To like getting them to follow into the law, and then
stuff.
eventually Paul becomes the Lisan Gaib. and they all follow him.
But that's not. But it's not really. I will have to say,
So she's done a great job.
She's done a good job. I just think, in the sense that like she's there and she's always pushing it. But I feel like after she drank the water of life, there wasn't really she didn't really have to do anything, to be honest. Like she's doing the whole like what's his name?
Yeah, she did, but it didn't need to be like.
What's his name? What's his name in Game of Thrones? What do they call it? The secrets guy. When they have the little birds in it, the little sparrows.
Yeah, sparrows.
Like he's doing that kind of thing, she's doing that kind of thing, but ultimately it's just about Paul going past these like challenges in it, like after he drives the worm and da. But I did like the water scene. I thought that was quite cool. The fact that we got the water from the worm, we get to see a little baby worm, Lisan, the woman that was doing it. I thought that was quite cool. Like that was quite a good different bit of the place that we're seeing. Like I actually like that. But
Another bit of the world. Yeah.
let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
I didn't say it.
No, but it was another bit about me. We went back there 3 times, but it's okay. That was nice. Because you have to do it. I like a little ritual, innit?
Because he was dancing around it. He was fighting to not say it.
No, it's not even that. Because I was gonna say it, but I was like,
but you held yourself, innit?
I held it.
Him, so I wouldn't.
No, I held it because I don't want to make it anything that it didn't need to be. So I was like, let me hold down. Yeah, we got to see another room, and it was nice.
The thing with Jessica's mother, Jessica, that I really liked wasn't even the whole visions thing. It was her physical prowess, because they showed like she's a beast as well in terms of like fight. What?
It's just his reaction. I knew where he was going. I don't know why you reacted like that.
Physical prowess.
Yeah, because she can fight.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like a normal fighting, because like the wording way and what she was, because, and this is why Paul is so sick, because like he's a unique kind of a person in terms of the world of Dune, because he's trained in so many different things. What is this? What?
You said the world of Dune, didn't you?
I'm not the problem. I'm not the person with the world building problem.
I just looked at him,
You're the one with it. So I'm just talking. He's got so many different tools that make him, and this is where Jessica is important, because she decided to disobey the Bene Gesserit and actually go, because they can choose whether or not they want to have a boy or girl. Because she disobeyed and actually went for a boy, she knew, okay, if I'm going to do this, I need to make sure this guy is the Kwisatz Haderach, and so I need to give him all the tools that he will need. So he's got the skill of a Mentat, he's got the fighting abilities, he's got the Bene Gesserit training as well. So he knows, he's basically got everything that he will need to kind of succeed in that way, because he can handle the visions, he can handle the fighting, he just understands that whole prophecy angle of it.
And be a leader.
Yeah, and the cool thing about the Bene Gesserit part specifically is being able to transmute poisons, because that was real key for when he took the thing himself, because up until that point, any man who tried it just died.
Wait, so what did they do actually? They just like,
because the water of life is a poison. They turn it into a less harmful substance.
Oh, they change it like inside somehow.
They have full control over their body. That's the Bene Gesserit thing.
Who does that?
Bene Gesserits.
Someone in Demon Slayer.
Someone in Demon Slayer does that, right? Yeah.
In Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
What?
They get poisoned in, I think it's like the second.
Who is it?
Season, and he has to
in the woods with the spiders.
You can't move in that.
Was it?
Yeah,
Is it? I don't think so.
I know what you're talking about, the poison.
Zenitsu.
Something like that.
Is it Zenitsu?
Yeah. He's turning into the spider.
No, he had help. The butterfly lady, Hashira, gave him something.
Yeah, isn't that what it's all about? Poison.
No, they can like.
He's talking about someone who can do it within themselves.
Yeah. I know.
Oh wait,
There was a point in Demon Slayer.
Unless you're talking about breathing.
Hunter x Hunter. The
transmuter. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that is.
someone in the
that's
very
Hunter x
beginning.
Hunter.
Who is it?
Sometimes they change the water.
No,
No, it is
No.
Demon Slayer. It's in the water guy. It's the mist guy in the last season.
Yeah, Well,
he got poisoned, did it? Yeah, he got poisoned
Yeah.
when he was in the water,
Yeah.
and then he had to slow his he had to do his breathing, whatever, and then.
It's in
yeah.
Demon
Oh,
Slayer
okay,
and
yeah.
Hunter x
Changing
Hunter.
the poison.
No,
Who's,
but I'm
who's,
just-
who's the guy with the skateboard?
Killua.
Killua. He drinks the.
That's more like
He drinks
Killua's
the guy's
Killua and
drink.
what's his name? Hisoka.
I was about to say
They're both transmuters. They can actually change the quality of the properties of anything.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's
cool.
more accurate than Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is just
I don't
breathing
know.
control.
Killer is just immune to loads of poisons.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but like, he's immune to poisons, but he's a transmuter as well.
I was just down in those drinks.
You can change the nature of it. I guess.
What did you guys think of Paul and Channy's relationship?
Standard stuff. I think it almost got to the point where
Dead.
but,
I'll be real.
Okay.
Weakest part of the film. Weakest part of the
To
film.
be fair, I think I don't mind the relationship. But I think the reason why I'm like, is because of where I know it's going. Because it's like I don't like the fact that when everyone was like, oh, listen, I'll go you. Like she was holding back. The relationship looked like it was fading away, and then as soon as like, okay, I'm going to do this political move, she gets upset and leaves. And I'm like, oh, that's gonna.
Yeah, but so the reason I don't mind it.
Yeah.
It's dead, man.
Yeah, it's too much.
dead.
If they take it out,
What? No chemistry.
No, the chemistry is
Yeah,
fine.
they could act together, innit? If I was Tom Holland, I'd be like, ooh.
I just know it's gonna be a plot point, and I don't care for it.
What the tennis movie? That's the one
I've seen it. Yeah.
Oh!
She's firing that. She's fire.
She doesn't do the tennis movie. I'm looking sideways.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I mean, she didn't do that much anyway.
Movie
It
like
was
Shiv.
the other two guys, but you know,
I haven't seen it.
they were getting off of each other. Big him up.
Has she done some madness?
Josh O'Connor, good actor. He's very good.
I don't care so much about the love thing in Dune because it doesn't kind of get in the way of anything, and they actually leave space for it to be for them to still make practical decisions because it even starts with Jessica and later because he never married her, Paul's mother and father. She was just his concubine, and the reason why I was yeah, they said it. It's not my word. They said it.
That's the interesting word.
It is. I like
Sounds
it.
like an animal.
No,
Concubine.
It's thinking of porcupine.
No, yeah, like
that's.
I'm assuming that's what it's thinking about. Like that's the closest thing, isn't it?
I
Like,
guess yeah,
I mean,
sure.
you're porking a pine or something. I don't know.
yeah, porcupine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, fair.
So so the fact that they basically
That's a stir. Look at him.
I
You still on
Just
spice
care,
stuff,
ignore
man.
him. Ignore him.
I'm already doing it. The fact that they mirror the relationship between Jessica and her husband with Paul and Channy,
Oh.
I think is
Is that what they tried to do?
yeah, because
They're not married.
he tells her I'll love you, but he marries Ireland,
Oh, politically.
the political thing.
I didn't love his wife.
Hmm?
Oh,
Was he
I
not
didn't realize he had a wife. Mad.
No. He loves Ireland, but not Channy.
Oh.
But at the end, in that final fight, he says, "I'll take the hand of your daughter."
I'm talking about his dad. I didn't realize he had a wife.
No, he didn't have a wife.
Okay, wait.
She was just his concubine. I'm saying they mirrored that relationship with Channy because Channy is not his official wife.
Wait, who's the other person?
Ireland,
you
that's
mean
the emperor's daughter. He's gonna
no,
marry
no.
her.
I'm talking about okay. So his dad. Okay, who did
His
two women?
dad never married Jessica.
Jessica.
There was no other women.
She was
there
just
was
his
that
conc-
room
okay.
for if there's a political alliance.
No, I was trying to make sure there wasn't any other women.
Oh, yeah,
who
no.
did
It
it.
was
Okay.
just saying
Is that
they-
what all Bene Gesserit women do? They don't marry.
they're
They just,
concubines. Well, they can be, but it depends on.
but
the
it's,
two
it's,
people
it's
out
stated. It's stated that they weren't married.
there. It is stated.
Remember, they need to preserve the
Chat,
bloodline.
You guys don't pay attention to
This
this.
is what I'm saying.
They're talking about, I didn't get this, I didn't get that. This is why I get frustrated.
This is me half the time. But,
Innit? Like
I mean,
it
Paul's the
frustrates
boss
the
of
life
it,
out of me.
'cause a lot of
It's
it
not
was
just you.
boring.
It's not just you guys. It's
Don't
just
smoke.
like even when I watch reaction channels, like
Don't
I see
smoke.
people watching it, reacting to it, and they're like, "Oh, I've got these questions." I'm like, they answer it in the fucking movie if you just listen.
I will say, okay, on the question of the relationship, I will say it was a complete waste of time because they didn't even let us believe that these two were like destined for each other. I thought the whole first film was about him having the visions of her, and he meets her.
How is that not destined, innit?
No, but I'm saying he meets her. She gives
literally
him the knife, and then like from the second film, I'm like, yeah, okay, like it's nice and that, but it's not like we're in this together. Apart from when they were fighting together, like that scene was cool. I like that.
They're not gonna have that because they've had the conflict. From the start.
No, you're not.
She didn't want-
No. You're missing. You're not missing my point. I'm just saying for what we got from them, it's like it was just basicy stuff. It's like
You wanted more love scenes, like
no, it's not. Not even.
no, but like
Not even.
It makes sense. It makes
Like
sense.
I didn't believe. Not. It's not. That I didn't believe their relationship, but I believe that the fact that she's not even with this guy. She don't like this guy. The fact that
she does
he's
like him.
No, but
Loves him.
she doesn't like the fact that he's gonna be the Lisan Al Gaib. She don't like that.
No.
yeah.
But she still wants to fuck him though. So
just kinda-
She's already done that.
no, but I'm saying like that should have been the conflict of what their relationship is.
Yeah.
Because this whole I love you, I don't like you. She should know that he's gonna be this fucking guy. His mum is right there.
No. She
No,
doesn't.
she didn't believe in it.
She doesn't.
No,
yeah.
it's not about whether she believes in it. It's about whether she believes he's going to do it. He is an outsider.
No.
She should know that.
Yeah, but remember, he's been telling her he's not going to do it. He
Yeah,
doesn't
but
believe
come on,
in it.
man. Come on, man. How many times have you seen that in films? That I That's not
No,
moving me.
She's never seen
we
a
know
film.
about
That's not moving
films.
me.
It was about
That's
the
not moving me.
character.
Oh, I'm not gonna do it. I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
That's
man.
irrelevant because we're
No,
talking about the
it's not moving
character.
me.
The character doesn't care about
But I'm
different
saying
films.
it's not. But in the moment, it's not moving me.
Even though films exist.
No, I'm saying in the movement, it don't move me. It don't move me.
Yeah, but is it
You can't just.
is it realistic for the character?
No, okay, realistic or not, you can't just put
So
things
it-
in. Even if it's realistic,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't necessarily heighten or like move anything that's happening at the moment.
I mean, it does.
It
though.
feels. It almost feels like filler. If we're gonna be real,
No, but we can.
it almost feels like filler.
No, because from the
I'm not
first
saying.
film,
I'm
when
not
we
saying a relationship is filler,
You can even
but I'm
argue the
saying
reason why he doesn't even do it sooner is because of her.
no. I'm not. Look, I'm not saying
Yeah.
the relationship itself isn't filler, but I feel like the intenseness that we were supposed to get for how good this film is supposed to be, it's not matching.
So more love scenes.
That's
That's
pretty
not
much,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Like, what
you
do
don't
we
think
want?
so you think intenseness
the
is
scenes
they
could've
have to
been
be
better.
fucking.
That's
Is that what you think?
You mentioned them
Love
doing
scenes
that.
isn't
earlier.
just fucking.
Yeah, exactly. So why do you keep saying it then?
I mean,
I
no,
said
you
it-
said
no,
love
but
scenes.
I'm saying
Exactly.
I said fucking once after they were fighting together and then they were fucking. I was like, okay, that makes sense. You're building, you're fighting together, and then you're doing something. But after that, it was just back and forth. Oh
They
yeah,
just went on dates
you're gonna
and
be
stuff.
this guy. Oh no, you're not gonna be this guy. Like we all knew where it was
So what do
going.
you want exactly?
I wanted
Because
to be more
it's
believable.
wartime. It's
What
wartime.
would make it more believable?
That's yeah.
More, I don't know. I don't know what would make it. That's not up for me. That's not up for
What
me.
do you mean?
But,
So-
but what we got, it's about what we got. What we got.
But you don't know what you're looking for.
I'm looking for a good, strong relationship.
We don't care about that. It's gonna end in the same film.
Exactly.
So why do
So
we
why would
need
you give me
it?
a meaty version of a relationship if we know it's going to end?
Because it's gonna drive something else. We don't
Okay,
need.
okay, so it's filler.
What do you want to see them? No, it's not filler because we know it's gonna lead to
Yeah,
something.
but okay, so it's
From before we
it's
even
a
met
building
her.
block. It's a building block, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay, and I want my building blocks to be a bit more richer. That's it.
Well, they don't care about that.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
And clearly we can see it in the film.
What do you mean? They have enough of a chemistry or a relationship.
No. Okay, what I'll say when he like when he goes to marry the other girl, whatever, and she gets pissed. It's like first of all, when you're watching it, you're like, oh, she should have known that anyway, and you're looking at him like, oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense.
Okay.
You're not going, oh my god, she's very upset. Oh my god, like she saw this coming. How can she not see this coming?
I mean, he only
Wait.
told her before.
No, but how can she not see this coming, man?
I mean,
After
he
everything
literally
that's happening.
before that he told her, "I love you."
So what?
What do you mean? So what?
Come on, man.
Okay, so
Come on, man.
So you think in her position, oh, like they've been having arguments a good time because of the whole Lisan Gaib thing. So they've not been speaking like that. So then before he's about to have this duel before he could potentially die, he tells her, "Oh yeah, I love you," and then afterwards he's like, "I'm gonna marry this girl." Like, of course she's gonna be pissed.
And even when he does it in front of her, when they're about to fight, when he's like, "Oh, I'll love you even if I have breath in me."
Yeah.
So when he says that, and then he goes to marry that girl,
Yeah.
don't get pissed.
What do you mean?
Because I
Don't
thought you're
get
supposed to have a
pissed?
strong relationship.
That's more of a reason to get pissed.
Ah, come on, man.
What do you mean?
For me, it's meaty and it won't move me, innit? I've seen strong relationships
It's
on
meant to move
screen.
her. It's not meant to move you.
Okay, that's fine,
What
innit?
do you
That's
mean?
fine.
And she
And
was
that says to the meatiness of
I mean,
it.
no,
not
really.
To say, not to say that those two are meaty because it was actually quite good. but
He's not your man. That's her man.
That's fine.
What do you mean?
Exactly.
So what's gonna move?
So
So why are you upset?
What do you want, man? Okay, we can flip it now. We can flip it now. But it's okay.
Oh, man.
It's okay. We can get cookie cutter, love stuff in it, and be like, oh, okay, because she did this and he did this and this.
You're more upset than she is. Like,
I'm just saying. None of it was really that
just wants her for
believable.
himself, innit?
Because she
Look, that may be true, but that may be true.
He's still fighting for the man.
Hey, that may be true, but like we've seen strong relationships on screen. We've seen Wonder and Vision. We've seen it. We've seen it.
Vision.
Are we gonna tell me that's not a strong relationship on screen?
What do you mean?
When Vision was getting fists up in Infinity War, you didn't tell me that wasn't strong between them two. Come
Infinity War. Okay. When
on, man. Come on, man.
I think the only difference is like they went high. Like I don't know where they went, but they went gone for time.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's like
I'm just
they
saying.
can build that.
But I'm just saying, huh?
They got
Obviously.
they got enemies, man. They're in like wartime.
I mean, Wonder is reality warper and Vision is artificial, man. You think they're not?
yeah, but like they're in the desert. Like you want them to go on dates somewhere, or I don't
No,
know,
you're
like-
not. You're not. Okay.
This
Well,
is
okay.
how
Okay. Let me try to be more plain and simple. When they were having their discussions about him being a Lisan Gaib, him either doing it or not doing it, either we're going to go into the discussions with something a little bit deeper, with much more at stake, because it was almost as if she's just kind of saying it, even though she really believes it. Like if you really believe it like that, kind of say it with your chest. she weren't really saying it with her chest. She was kind of like, please don't do it. Like, you know. When she was with her friends though, she had chest. When she was with her friends, she's like, yeah, no, don't talk to us. Listen. When she was with her friends, she was not really liking him like that. Like when he went over to talk to them when they were laughing, when he went over to them when they were laughing, you know, when as a group of people your same age laughing, he went over to them to try and gist with them, and she was the first one that went, don't bother, don't come here.
Isn't that before she liked him though?
Yeah, exactly.
So what does that mean?
No, so I'm saying once we get into this point, why are we not having this whole kind of deeper discussion about him being a Lisan Al Gaib? There isn't even a deeper discussion about it.
What does that have to do with her not liking him to begin with?
What do you mean?
What are you talking about deeper discussion?
I don't know.
They literally showed a scene where they were in a tent.
It wasn't deep enough. It wasn't deep enough. It wasn't deep enough. It wasn't deep enough. I'm supposed to. There's no point in the film where I thought that Paul really liked her to the point where he's gonna jeopardize what he's going for. That's maybe the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, but like,
and the same way for Zendaya, the other way.
I very much would like to be equal to you.
Did I believe it?
Having more visions.
Did I believe it?
I'm afraid of this power. I'm never gonna take the water of life thing. Even when Paul was having the thing against his tribe, she stood up against her whole tribe and tried to talk and try to convince them that this guy is a waste man after he had already even taken it. So she's still opposing him. She had to get dragged down by Josh Brolin. And then Josh Brolin was saying, there was a scene with her and Josh Brolin when Josh Brolin was saying, why wouldn't you like take the power and do all these things? You have 200 people and all this stuff. And she was saying, he's scared of what that could turn him into, and he should be afraid. Like he's already expressed this to her. They've talked on a deeper level. So I don't get what you're saying is missing about like deeper conversation.
I'm saying is that at no point did I feel that Paul was going to either really wrestle with the idea, apart from that moment when they were going to the Southern tribe. That was the only part where he was really like, I can't go. And then he had the voices going, drink the water. And then you find out he's in the Southern tribe.
He's been fighting with his
That's what happened. That's what happened.
The prophecy.
Yes, okay. But I'm talking about.
Did you want
every time they tried to
But
him, it was like,
Okay, you see Anakin Padme stuff.
they got chased to the Southern tribe, no?
Yeah, no, but okay. But if I'm talking about on-screen relationship like stuff, we're talking Anakin Padme.
Well,
Okay,
that's not good.
No, but I'm saying the relationship itself. His whole thing was to try to stop Padme in it. Like, was trying to stop her from dying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he got to a point where it was like, okay, he basically had so much power that he kind of killed her anyway. But you saw the lovey-doveyness between them, whether it was forced or not, whatever. You saw that they had a relationship. They were gonna have kids. They got married. They were about to have kids.
But they've known each other for much longer.
Yeah. No, that's fine. But you felt when he killed her, you felt it in that moment.
Felt what?
The betrayal kind of thing. Like, oh shit, that's fine.
Oh, I don't think she betrayed him.
Not she betrayed him, but you felt like, oh shit, like when he killed her, innit? Like it was kind of something. Did you think, he is going to kill her, or did you have that moment of, he may or may not?
I mean, I always thought Obi-Wan would stop him.
Okay, cool. In Dune, for Paul, I never thought, he's never gonna have that moment of, I'm not going to do this. I'm definitely not going to do it.
Did you want him to have like a vision of?
I don't. Look, you lot keep saying visions. Like,
no,
this is
I
the
feel
thing
like
for me,
the moment, because like we touched on it earlier.
No, I know the moment he has it. I know the moment he gets it.
No, but like the moment he like, because everyone's like, you said you didn't find him believable as the Lisan Al Gaib, and we said, like you even said that it's because as a character he's pretending to be that person.
Yeah.
So I think the moment he forsakes the identity of Paul to become like this symbol, like he can't like at that point he can't be them like I'm gonna have both attachments.
I agree with you.
So he has to discard both attachments.
No, I agree with you. But I also feel when he's building that attachment with Chani, I never felt that he was going to like kind of jeopardize everything that he is actually building towards, which is spice production. We know that's what he's on when him and his mum are there. Before his mum becomes the mother, him and his mum are like, okay, I need to get the non-believers on my side. So he's actively thinking of it. He's not thinking, I'm never gonna do it.
No, but he's telling his mum to stop and not do that.
Yeah, but he's giving mixed messages. We see it in the film.
Because I guess like
he's going, okay, I'm leaning into it a little bit. I'm not leaning into it. Like,
Because regardless of what happens, he needs the backing of the people.
And
Whether he's Paul or the Lisan or Gaib.
And that's what we know as the audience. Yeah, we definitely know that he needs that. And when it comes to the relationship, that isn't a force that's big enough to kind of stop that
he
at any point.
Need that relationship.
Thank you. It's nothing that's kind of stopping that at that point.
Which
Which is what the relationship is supposed to be.
He's already got the Fremen people on his side.
Thank you.
No, but it's not just the relationship that is
I'm talking
meant
about
to
the
stop him.
relationship.
So basically, what you're saying is the relationship is useless.
You're basically
not strong
saying
enough.
you're saying that the story could have happened had there not been a relationship.
No, I'm saying,
It could have been a friendship, and it could have still happened. the same
yeah,
way.
it actually could have just been a friendship.
I could hear that
And we realized why is she even there because of the desert spring things. And is that something that he already saw in his visions?
But to support your point, I would
That's
say
what I'm saying.
that what was more jeopardy for him not following through the plan was, in his visions, he saw that billions of people were dying, or whatever it was, millions of people dying, and that's what was
It's
the main
bigger
thing
than
holding
him.
him back. But I don't think any relationship could not like.
And
supersede
yeah,
that.
so that was
in my opinion.
but at the time in regards of like in person, because he's actually living with the Fremen. He's got this Fremen girlfriend at this point now. Like he's living with her.
Yeah.
So like all the extra stuff is kind of like is whatever in it. It's visions.
So that's the main reason.
But that's visions though. Like that's visions. Like that's that doesn't
Yeah,
really matter.
but at this point, it's all visions, right?
No, but I'm saying it doesn't really like it doesn't matter in a sense of he's
He was
actually
more torn about that than leaving Chani.
exactly.
But that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Leave one girl or be responsible for the death.
Wait,
of
so you're
billions.
saying
So you're saying that the love should have been strong enough that
He turned back.
That's actually like
No.
the toil that he has.
I feel like it should have been something
Like,
where I actually think I
like
think
he
that
wrestles
thinks,
with the decision
I think
more
that he
about
thinks it's
her.
real
Yeah.
because I feel like he don't think it's real. It almost
Yeah.
feels like she's a side piece, almost like she's just
Especially
there.
given in the first film the way that they keep showing her in the dreams and making
Yeah, and like they barely talked. Like their relationship is built in this film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and if we didn't get the visions of the first one, it's like, are we
Yeah.
even gonna believe this?
I see it, but again, I guess that leads into we'll need to wait to see. what
or
she
maybe
does
he's
in
doing it
the
on
third one.
purpose because he needs Chani to do something later.
And that's another aspect I have.
Possibly.
As well. I hear that.
It could be like a Eren moment with
I hear that.
his crew,
I hear that.
making them hate him so that
I
they
hear
can
that.
go kill him.
So, what based on the discussion we've had, what would you give this film? Because it sounds like you've been trashing it.
Boy, no. I
He gave the first one a 9 as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So this one's
that was quite high. That
from
was
what
quite
you've
high.
said, from the way you defended Lord of the Rings for this movie.
I feel like when it comes to these type of films, like if we're talking about Lord of the Rings, I feel like these are films that are above, like almost above the ratings in these kind of things. Dune, yes, it was a 9.
Part one.
I will say a lot of that is due to the content that was, or not content, that's rude. The films that was out at the time, because as Sang said, there were no other big sci-fi films like that. I'm just saying, and the fact that the film was like,
So you only rated it high because everything else was dead.
no. I ain't even finished my point.
Go ahead.
I ain't finished my point. I liked it because it actually
recently
wasn't
by-
so obviously story driven. Like I like the fact that we actually didn't get backstory for a lot of the stuff and we just went straight into it and that Atreides finally got fucked up. I like that. I like the music. I like the visuals. Chalamet already knew what he was gonna
I
do.
noticed you're wearing a Hans Zimmer top.
Yeah. We would know about the sound.
Yeah.
But
he did the music for Dune.
yeah,
Originally.
I love the film, but I knew it had its downsides. That ending fight weren't enough. It weren't enough. And if we're coming into this,
Wait.
Didn't you tell us
I
that
said the
fight?
first film.
Oh,
Oh.
I got to jump.
The first film. Let's be real, guys. Let's start.
What ending fight happened in the first film?
He fought Jamis.
That's the ending fight?
Was that not the fight at the last?
yeah.
Come on,
that's
man. Let's not do
basically-
that.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
You can do semantics. But it's okay.
I can't lie. The music is great.
The music is fantastic.
All that shit, bruv. I love it.
Fantastic.
I love it.
Fantastic.
I feel like I was in the desert myself, like
Yeah.
when watching it.
Spicy.
But the thing is, I was really close.
It's
to
very
to
Assassin's
IMAX.
Creed, Prince of Persia vibe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds enough. Second one though.
It's even better.
I'm over the rating.
What's your
Yeah,
rating?
come on,
yeah,
what's
just
the rating?
whoever your rating. All this exposition.
Wait, have we? Is he the first one to give the rating?
Yeah.
I'm just intrigued.
Oh,
by,
okay.
By the way,
okay.
he's bashed the film.
Set the
Honestly.
benchmark.
Wait, I haven't bashed the film.
Yeah,
I ain't bashed the film. I ain't bashed the film.
Backtrack now.
No,
Give your rating. No. We've done this for half an hour. We have half an hour left.
I'm not letting people write my own narratives in it.
Okay, speak for yourself.
I write my own prophecy in it.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
You could maybe say that I've been trashing it. No, wait. I can understand why you lot think I'm trashing it because we're comparing it to Lord of the Rings. But let me get a statement out.
No.
You're on up. I've got my statement.
You're speaking to the jury now.
Yeah, no, you're on up. Okay. I defend myself, but
The next thing out your mouth should be a number.
no, but
Come on, at least speed it up.
yeah. Okay, no interruptions, please.
This is Rishi Sunak. That's crazy.
Let me finish it. That's what I was saying now. You're fucking chatting shit now. So, right. Okay. Right, okay, yeah, I'm going to clean up that point first. I can understand what you lot were thinking because if we're comparing it to, Lord of the Rings, whatever, it might sound like I'm trashing it. I'm not. It might just be a point or a point and a half below. That's fine.
Okay,
That's
we believe
fine.
you. Go on.
That's fine. We're getting on to Dune. Dune 2. I'm just going to rate it first as a soul film. Let's do that
That's
first.
what we ask.
Let's do that first. Let's go from there first. I think Oh
my!
I might have to give it an 8.5.
Wait, you said?
And I might have to lower the first one to an 8.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Okay.
Even though you can cut it down to an hour, so 8.5.
I didn't say that. I said you could cut down the progression of him. I'm not gonna go over it.
Okay.
Anthony knows what I mean, so it's fine.
Cool.
So it's fine. But yeah, it's a 8.5. I feel like it expanded on the first one. We actually got a lot more in the second than the first.
Yeah.
However, there's almost bits like that go up and down in the second more than the first.
Okay.
Even though the first had like quite a bit of a boring. Some people might say it's boring. I thought it was quite intriguing. I liked it. Yeah, I think the performances were good. Chalamet's better in this one. I like. So I didn't get a chance to say my thing on that scene. I will say that when he came in that scene and did the whole like no one can chat to me type thing, I thought, okay, this is something that we might have to look at a little bit later. 8.5. Yeah, 8.5. 8.5. I feel quite good with that. 8.5.
I'm so worn out. First movie, I gave a 9. This movie, the only reason I don't want to do any 0.5 nonsense. The only reason I'm not going to give it a 10 is because I can't say any movie is perfect because there's always something I wish could have been added or expanded more or blah blah blah. So I'll stick with the same rating of a 9 as well.
So what would you have changed?
I'll just extend some of the scenes, like the last fight scene. I'll extend it
Cool.
a little bit. Things like that, where it's like I don't think, if I'm being honest, and again, so subjective, blah 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 bullshit. Can't think of anything that makes this. I can't think of any holes that this movie has from a narrative standpoint, because all the things you guys have brought up as far as like, oh, this didn't make sense, I feel like they addressed in the movie. Again, part of why I'm not giving it a 10 is you could argue, okay, if they did it this other way, maybe it would have landed better for more people, all these other things. So there's room for that level of improvement. But speaking for me, I loved what I got, especially in coming off of the last one. I think it makes sense. The world makes sense. The characters make sense. The decisions they were making made sense to me. And I'm someone who's particular about people being consistent with their characters. And I feel like everyone in here like made decisions that just made sense to them. No one was moving stupidly. The stupid characters were meant to be stupid. The ones who like the stupid characters are meant to be stupid. The ones who were supposed to be brave were brave. Like it just, I don't know. I feel like it's as close to perfect as a movie can get for me. And again, part of that is in context of the last one because it is a part 2 movie. I don't know, I'm saying too much. Short of it is, I think it's a near perfect movie. I think it's a 9.
Oh, you wanted to
No,
rebuttal?
Sang.
No
Sang.
rebuttal.
Sang, go on.
No.
I said Sang, go on. I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
All right.
Calm down.
I feel like this.
Every time he reaches for the mic, like.
I didn't say anything.
Guns down.
Sorry, you should have got me a chair. Here we are. Got me a chair, but here we are.
So I really enjoyed the movie. Like I said, I felt like I was in the sands with them.
Sands of time, you know.
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
In the
I will
sands.
say, sorry. One of my biggest regrets is not seeing this in theaters.
Oh, you don't watch it?
If there's still a chance, I don't know if they do like reruns. Or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
IMAX. It was
I really
honestly,
regret
it
not seeing
was amazing to watch cinematically, like videographically, if that's a word. The music. I like how this elevates Timothy Chalamet, to another level.
What
I
level
feel
is that?
To me, he's like Tom Holland, maybe even above Tom Holland level
There's
now.
much better acting than Tom Holland.
He's
Yeah,
above Tom
he's
Holland.
he's like,
Zero.
but Tom Holland's like,
I'm
I'm talking about just as him as a Spider-Man, but Timothy is like him across all kind of genres right now. Like he's doing it.
I'm doing a mad disservice
I
to
love
Chalamet.
that scene where the one that you were talking about, where he becomes Lisan Gaib makes that
for me, it's
speech.
like one of the greatest
That's one of the
scenes
best
I've
scenes I've seen
That scene is so
recent
iconic.
kind of history, like cinema history. And for that reason, but plus, there's a few things I don't like about it.
Such as?
So, like you said with the relationship, I do feel like I agree with you. Actually, they could have went stronger with that, even though he had the jeopardy of like losing millions to billions of people, maybe even trillions, and that should always supersede relationships. But you could have made it a little bit stronger. I do agree with that. And also, the one thing that really kind of brings it down for me is I never felt the weight of Fade as a character, as a villain, because
Fade Roffa.
yeah, we only got to see him in part 2, and all he did was fight 2 other guys up until when we saw him.
No, he fought 3 guys. and
3
two of
guys,
the-
3 guys.
Two of them were drugged.
Drugged.
Yeah, 2 of them were drugged, and like
He should have
didn't-
died when he was fighting that guy as
it,
well.
It didn't give me the weight of a villain in that scene when he ended up killing him at the end.
You felt like gold to me.
Yeah.
No.
And I mean, I like
Give him more respect.
I like
You know what to do
I like
that
how it
because of the
looks
black and white, innit?
black and white. Yeah,
Don't do that.
No, I mean like, okay, maybe it's the black and white, but like, as in, I feel like we didn't get enough from it, like
For him to be that guy.
No,
pose a credible
what they could have
versus-
done,
and that's what my problem then is with the fight as well. It's like,
yeah, what they could have done.
I hear that.
I'll
Okay,
go
I
back
can
to
hear
that.
that.
I think he was there, like he did for what they needed him to portray. He was like, I don't know what else you wanted from him to do. Like the only thing that would have been different is if he killed more people or did, but they showed him doing all of
No,
that.
but
Like they showed him as a
if they
savage,
did-
doesn't care about this.
I guess it's just people he killed. Like he
This is
killed
where world
women
building
and people
could,
he
like,
had
be
power
better.
over.
Like,
but that's what villains do. Like
Is
it's
it?
just
But
it's the
if they
people in the
introduced
vicinity.
him in part 1 killing like bare man, like,
Again.
and then he comes in part 2, and he's the guy who's going to be the champion for the Emperor. Then it adds more weight to the final fight.
I feel like them drugging the people he's fighting
That
took
too.
a little bit less.
What they could have
Makes him
done,
seem like a pussy.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
they could have done,
It seems a bit too protective.
honestly, this is what they should have done. This is what they should have done. They should have made him fight in that arena, and they should have kept this character alive. They should have kept Duncan alive somehow. And if he
Nah.
kills Duncan in that Coliseum
No.
in front
No.
of everyone, then it's like, okay, yeah, this guy is.
The other credible
The
threat,
other
but-
part of all of this is you have to remember this is something from a book being adapted, right? So there is this. It's already the story is already established, and the director that you're giving praise to, he because I looked at some of his interviews, like I want to stay as true to this vision as possible. He made some changes, of course, everyone does, but he wanted to stay as true to that. And I think what we got to Fade Ratha was everything we needed to show his character, show like the fact the scene you're talking about in the Colosseum where he fights the drunk people. That was a ceremonial thing because he's already known as the heir to Harkonnen. That was just a ceremonial thing so the people, it's like his introduction to the world, and so they weren't going to take a risk with his life. You see how they treat royalty, it's like in everything. So that wasn't surprising. The fact that the uncle was like, okay, I'm not going to drug this one Atreides who's the more of a senior position compared to the others. I want to test him and see who he is, and in that way it's a mini test because Phaedra Arthur, he was like, I took off the shield because he's going into this as like it's a performance. This is what I need to do for my prince thing. He goes into it, it does the traditional shit, but when he sees, okay, this person's actually trying to give me a challenge. All right, challenge accepted. Took off the shield and was like, let's go. And then even when the other people tried to intervene, it was like, stay the fuck away. And then he beat him on his own merits, and he was like, "Good fight." And they said,
"The other guy got stabbed."
No. Again, I'm not gonna argue that it's completely fair because you could say, "Oh, he's not in the tip-top condition." I hear all of that, but I'm saying, under the circumstance, this is stuff they would have been doing anyway. This is traditional shit, and we've seen him being competent, not just in fights. It's the strategic mind as well, because he's the one who found Siege Tabab. Because the Fremen was saying, no one outside of a Fremen can ever find this place. He found it, destroyed their home. In literally seconds of getting to the planet, so they've he used one of the old technologies. He said it. I'm not bringing extra shit. He said it in the movie. It was like because Harkonnen was like old technology. That's genius. He used some of the old tracking devices to find to narrow down where they were. And so they've shown that he's not just a brute. Like he's got brains. That you've seen the evidence of it. I think if they're because again we're talking about 2-hour movie. If they're putting more scenes, they're just extending the shit. For things would just be repeated. Yeah. So they showed. That's what I'm saying. This movie was very lean because they showed
people just staring into the desert. They could have cut some of those.
No, again. So why do you think I gave it a 9? Because again, there's all these little improvements you can make. But I'm saying everything it needed to have. I think it had, and not just had, but it had it in a way that satisfied.
So even though you think that, for me, it's not enough to see him as a credible threat combat wise. So for that reason, I'm still giving it a 9. Part 1 is 8.5. Part 2 is 9.
Okay.
Mine will be 7.5 because I gave the first one 7. For all the reasons I stated, but it was a better film than the first one. I think I enjoyed it more overall. But for that very reason, with what's his name, Fade. Yeah, that one bugs me a lot during the movie.
Fucking hell.
The same thing with Zendaya and Timothée Chalamet. I wasn't really there for their relationship. And for everything kind of we got from it, it just kind of like.
Real. If there's any relationship, would we really be there for it? Just based
no.
So like, I feel like
I just feel like it's not needed.
But that's
like,
that's the point though. If it's supposed to be there, it's supposed to be there to sway you.
Let me finish. Visually, the film was amazing. Like, and you guys know me, I'm not much of a visual guy. I don't really like. I thought the effects in this were really good. Like, I don't know what the fuck Marvel and all these other people have been doing. Because this one, maybe it's the way that the film was shot in terms of like there being lots of sand, so it might have been easier to.
Part of it was on location as well.
Huh?
Part of it was on location as well.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like like when you look at things and it's like, okay, you can tell that's CGI. Like in this, I felt like it was shot in a way that it doesn't.
Yeah, apparently, one of the guys who helped develop the volume thing that Marvel and Disney Plus were sort of championing for Mandalorian and all that.
Yeah.
One of the guys who actually helped develop it was the main cinematographer for this. So he knows how to use it a lot better than like I think Marvel and those people cut corners.
You
can see it. Yeah, they cut so many corners. But
and I imagine the budget was insane for this movie.
165. It wasn't that great.
That's not a lot to be fair. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, 7.5. That would be my rating.
Okay. I think I said the first one was 7.5. I think this one's probably like an 8.5. I'd say I liked the fact that we got to see a bit more. I like the fact that we got reintroduction into not Duncan. What's the other guy's name?
Gurney.
Yeah, like seeing him again, seeing that he survived and he was able to actually do stuff rather than just being like one of those homeless people. Like, oh my gosh, yeah. But like, I'm glad he was like thriving rather than just surviving. So I like the fact that we saw him. I liked what they did with the mum, how she's like. I like the things with the things I really liked about the film was to do a lot more of the Bene Gesserit. Like I like how they were plotting. Like even the woman who was with Fade Rafa, who was like, oh, like he's weak to lust. Like we've got the fact they were plotting behind the scenes. I like that. I feel like the best part of the movies were what they were doing. Like even the planting, like superstition before their arrival and stuff like that. So I like that. But I think again, what I didn't like, as I said before, about the not Del Toro, what's his name?
Javier Bardem.
Yeah, I didn't like how his character became like a caricature of himself. Like I know he was meant to be like a religious zealot and stuff, but I feel like because of that, people took him less seriously. And I feel like from the person we were introduced to in the first movie, he seemed to have a lot more weight in what as a leader, and with the whole division because of this, it just made him seem like a follower. Like I think the reason why I didn't like the whole Paul announced himself was just the whole like the way he was like slobbing over him like kill me. I was like you don't need to
still
do
got.
Yeah. It was like it's like taking my life so you can speak. I'm like it's like
Yeah, for time.
yeah I know, but I think that's
He told him to do it when he got clapped up when the Harkonnens blew up the siege.
yeah. But I think things like that, it's like it just takes away from him as a character, and it's like going forward. Yeah, but going
Isn't that
forward,
because he's more comfortable like with like he's just around Fremen. When we were first introduced, he was just coming in
maybe
as
that could
the
be
one Fremen guy around the
Yeah, but I feel like if you're the leader and people aren't taking you seriously, like what does that?
No, I think they do take him seriously because once he starts following him,
he's talking about when they first get to see Shabar, it was talking to them. It was like, I'm ready to give my life up for him, and they were laughing at him and all that stuff. So that scene, it makes sense with the next scene that comes after it because they're in the north and Stilgar's from the south where they're more religious, and so those people generally are more. They're more for Daikin. They're more. We just want to go. They want to go. Yeah, and again, this is all from movie. That's why when. I'm not mad at like what you're saying, obviously, because that's what you took from it. But the reason why I can't take points away from this is because they address that, like, and it's not like a throwaway. These are characters within the movie saying things that, and it's consistent with what the characters are saying. So they were saying, "Oh, can't you tell from his accent? It's from the south." It's like things like that. It's like it's a natural progression. So I hear, but again. That you're taking points away from it, that's fair enough. But the reason why I can't take points away for those things is they explain it, it makes sense, and it's within the world, not just some exposition.
Yeah, again with how you both talk about how like the villain didn't seem like a villain sort of thing. Like I feel like there wasn't enough menace to him. Like obviously like it was him like being like, oh, cut this one's heart out and stuff like that. And
you're just slicing people left, right, and center. Isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But it's like it's easy to do that when it's like people who are like have no power.
Exactly.
Like, so for me it was like okay, this person's like evil, but like I didn't get any menace. Like from Joffrey also took advantage of people who had no power. And like, but you can, like he was a threat. But
Yeah, it's the fact he was a coward. Yeah.
And he was a coward.
But that makes him more of a threat.
Yeah, exactly. But like Joffrey walking into the room, like everyone's on edge. Him walking into the room with his uncle is kind of like, okay, my uncle will give me whatever I want.
What about the scene when Beast he like tells him to like kiss his feet?
That's hilarious. But like again, I expect that from that character. Like if he's in a position of power, he will abuse it, and that's what I got from him. But like I didn't get any like real menace. Like, oh, this man's gonna be a threat to actual like Paul and
kiss his feet.
To Batista.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So like I knew he was going to be like a stepping stone, but I thought he wasn't going to die in this movie. I thought maybe they'll keep building him up until like the third one.
Stepping stone. That's interesting.
But what's it called? I like Florence Pugh's character. She seemed to be like the audience center
narrator
sort of thing. Like she's the one who's kind of like explaining what's happening. Like, oh, this person's crazy. Like, why would I be in this relationship with him? Why would I form these political ties with him? So I guess it gave the audience a bit more of like a reprieve. Like, okay, this is like, let's catch up a bit or sort of thing. And I like how her character is like, she's selfless, but she's headstrong. Like her father said that she'd be a good leader sort of thing. And you could see that even with the few lines and exposition she had. But yeah, I like where the story's going. I don't like the fact there's a part 3 or part X or whatever it's coming. But
let's go.
But yeah.
Wait, what do you mean you don't like the fact that there's another one?
Like I'd rather like.
You think the story should be done?
You mean it would be like you should be like.
There's too many movies doing part. Yeah, because I feel like there's gonna be a part 4, 5, 6, and it's like.
Nah, there's gonna be there's a part 3 and then there's a TV show about the Bene Gesserit like before in it. That's gonna happen.
Okay, Benjamin. Yeah. Okay, that sounds good to be fair.
Good.
But yeah, overall 8.5. 8.5.
To add about on that point, I don't like what they did with the Emperor because he just seemed so. He was strong in moments, but he was also kind of like.
Nah, he was a coward.
Even if I was him, like
he was a pussy.
Why would you like bow down to Paul and kiss his ring? Like
you just killed the person you.
Yeah, he doesn't want to die.
He lost his champion.
Like, at that point, just fuck off.
He doesn't want to die.
Nah, he's a coward. Like he killed the whole Atreides family because he was scared.
He's a coward, but he was strong enough to send the order to kill.
He wasn't strong enough. He was
Paul's
weak.
dad. He did the order.
Yeah.
But he's not.
Yeah, but he's a coward.
Do you think Joffrey would bend down and kiss someone?
Joffrey was hiding, and Tyrion was
slapping him up. Bro. What do you mean?
Joffrey was hiding with his mum and the women.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
No,
Yeah.
I think he'd be too proud.
Joffrey was
I
begging-
think he'd be
Joffrey was
too
begging
proud.
Arya,
No?
Please don't hurt me. And when she like
Yeah.
knocked him down.
Yeah.
he
Tyrion
was the
slapped
king at the
Joffrey in public.
Yeah.
He was a
He
prick.
was-
He's like,
he was
you
a
can't
young
slap
boy.
a king.
He wasn't a king.
Nah.
Okay, quick question, you two. What scene is better, the Lisan Gaib when Paul becomes that guy, or Tyrion when he's the trial of Tyrion?
I'm taking this one.
Listen, Gaib. Yeah.
Nah, I'm taking trial for
Yeah,
sure.
I can't lie. That's a bit crazy.
Listen, Gaib.
That's a bit
100%.
crazy, boy. I can't. That's a bit crazy, guys.
100%.
That's okay. That's okay. That's
That
interesting.
was the best moment in the movie.
So that's
It's probably the best moment of the show, to be
No, it was not.
And the thing is, I've watched
And that just says how much better
I've
Game of
watched
Thrones
that
is.
series
But that's okay.
so many times. Like we can say the lines and all of that, and it is epic, truly.
If you hadn't said that, I don't think I would probably ever watch it again.
What?
That scene, the Lisan Gaib one. Like now that you guys have said it, I'm gonna rewatch it. But if you hadn't have said
Bro,
that,
watch again, man. I can't-
It's cold in the tone of the film.
hard.
It's sick.
It's so hard.
Again, like I'm watching.
It didn't make me believe it, though.
What?
I'm watching a character
You would have
change and
definitely
Fuck
believed
off.
him.
every time I hear it, I get chills listening to that scene.
It's just the change in voice as well, and the
Yeah,
stature.
like the power in the-
Reverberations, yeah.
I get chills. Man. That scene is like the Tyrion scene is like it's epic and it's cool, but the chills I get when I'm listening to that scene for the amount of times I've seen it, it's unbeatable, man.
Alright, we gotta wrap up there, guys.
That is crazy.
So wrap.
Listen, Gaib.